Indiana Pacers, three-time champions of the old ABA, bidding for their first NBA championship. And the Los Angeles Lakers, who have made it this far to the NBA Finals 19 times, but this is their first visit since 1991. Game 1, only minutes away at the Staples Center. He's double-teamed, his pass deflected, and stolen by Dale Davis. Mark Jackson pushes it up the floor, finds Jalen Rose. And the Pacers take a 2-0 lead.
Big basket there for Jalen Rose. He must get off to a good start.
Miller's on Bryant. Kobe to the baseline. Here's his turnaround to tie the game.
What a tough shot.
Here's Bryant. And now Harper. Looking for Shaq, who takes it in deep. And you can't stop that.
Well, if you're going to let him get it that deep, you cannot let him foul. Get the basket and the foul.
Reggie Miller on the move. Misses off the glass, but Dale Davis is there to follow.
He is their best rebounder. You must block him off that offensive backboard. That's why you've got a team rebound. All 5 guys on the floor have got to go to the board. You can't leak out looking for the fast break.
Shaquille O'Neal showing early signs of just overpowering the Pacers in the paint. Harper.
It's very difficult for Rick Smits to play any kind of screen roll action. When he has to show out, he's normally a half step late. The Lakers know that, and they're going to that.
AC Green. And the NBA's Iron Man, who last missed a game in November of 1986, hits that one to give them a 6-point lead.
I think he's happy not to see Rasheed Wallace, Chris Webber, and all the forwards from Phoenix.
Now it's the jumper for Smits, and that works better than the hook. Dale Davis. His turnaround jumper rattles out. That's really not his game. He can get it off against AC Green, but that's really not part of his repertoire. Here's Harper to the left hand on the run. Count the basket and bring it to the line.
Ron Harper has been terrific in the playoffs, and more importantly, the deeper we're getting into the playoffs, the better he is playing. Against Portland, he was terrific.
Smits from the head of the key. He has that kind of range, and now, after missing his first 3, he's hit 2 straight.
We've said over and over in the playoffs, the team that can cause Shaq some problems are a team that has a big man that can step out and shoot. Well, Rick Smits and Sam Perkins can both do that.
Kobe Bryant.
They have no shot blocking, and the Lakers know that. Remember now, when they played against Portland, you had some long, rangy athletes back there changing shots.
O'Neal juggles it, recovers. Not only hits the basket, but as you were saying, Doug, once he's in that deep, it's almost impossible to wrap him up. Back to Smits. Mark Jackson on the offensive glass.
Beautiful basketball, though. Mark Jackson penetrates. Shaq's waiting there, and what he does, he finds Smits. Now, although Smits missed the jumper, Mark Jackson right there to finish up on the offensive rebound.
O'Neal, little fadeaway.
Wow, how good was that footwork? It looked like he was going to shoot a jump hook in the lane. He spun out and shot a fading jump shot on the baseline.
Kobe!
Indiana is not a team with good foot speed. Kobe knows that. The rest of the team knows that when they get a chance, they're putting the ball on the deck and going right to the basket. No shot blocking. The rim is open.
Here's Shaq for the jumper from the baseline that beats the shot clock and establishes a 12-point lead at 26-14. Ron Harper in deep to O'Neal. Harper's 4th assist. He's chipped in with 5 points as well. O'Neal's turnaround. Well, if he's going to hit that, in addition to overpowering you inside, you might as well wave the white flag of surrender. Leaving Harper alone for 3.
It's all going right now for the Lakers. They're just picking and choosing their spots.
Mark Jackson backing in, slipping Bryant and scoring.
Kobe's playing him to try to take away that post up. Now you've got Kobe matched up against Reggie here as we start the second quarter.
Because Travis Best is in to run the point, replacing Mark Jackson, and Derek Fisher is guarding him, and Best gives them instant offense. He's just a little guy, only 5'11", but he's very adept at doing what you just saw him do. Crozier against Fox, into the paint, and scoring off the glass.
Now he's got to remember, when Rick Fox plays you in the the post. He's not going to block your shot. He's going to try to strip you on the way up.
Sam Perkins misses the three, but Crozier is there. Very versatile player, Crozier. He has outside range on his jumper. Quick first step. O'Neal backing in on Perkins. McKee there with the help, but it's not enough. Perkins for three. Travis Best gives them a fresh 24. Rose doesn't use much of it as he swishes one from beyond the arc.
That's the strength of the Pacers, and it was come off an offensive rebound. Inside out, quick three by Rose.
Bryant with the miss. O'Neal with the recovery. And he scored 19 points, and we still have 7.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. First time Reggie Miller hasn't led Indiana in scoring since 1989. Bryant lays it off to Horry.
The dribble penetration and the quickness of Kobe Bryant is really causing problems for the Pacer perimeter guys. When he gets in there, the back line steps up. He lays it off, and it's a layup or a dunk.
Fox from Fisher. That was a beauty.
But look how quickly they're advancing the ball. Nobody has stopped it. They got it in the scoring area in 19 seconds. Only 5 seconds off the clock.
O'Neal against the smaller Perkins. Now they surround him. He gets the roll, scores the basket, comes to the line. They go to Shaq. Misses off the glass, and Smits has the rebound. Jalen Rose for three.
Well, that's a big basket right there. Was slipping away from the Pacers. Jalen Rose doing what the Pacers do best. Early offense and shoot that quick three.
Back live, Rice on the drive and the jam. Shaw's got it back now. Fisher for three.
Inside, outside, double team, swing the ball. Fisher three. Lakers by 17. A little over 2 minutes to go here in the half. Lakers have been brilliant here to start game one.
Austin Crozier.
Wow, he has been really aggressive. They've gone to him in that low post, and whoever's guarded him, he's been able to get the advantage. What a big lift off the bench, Bob. He's been for these Pacers.
He scored 8. Gwen Rice. Travis Knight.
I hate to tell you, but the Pacers are doing a terrible job on the defensive backboard right now. After getting off to a great start, the Lakers are now pounding him on the offensive board.
And Crozier was pounded by Knight, but had the strength to finish the play.
Kobe Bryant once again against Mark Jackson, up the floor trying to pressure, make them use clock to get into their offense slowly. Let's see if they can get Miller a quick shot here.
Here's Reggie with the ball against Harper. He goes into Smits for the jump hook on Shaq. That's good.
Now, he started the game the same way, missed 3 of those shots before he finally got in rhythm. I think he's finding out that if he catches the ball in there and he takes his time, he can get that shot against Shaq.
Only Jackson there to help. He turns on Smits and tips in his own miss.
The double team is coming from the top, so Shaq should not be allowed to spin baseline. Smits has got to get over on that shoulder and not let him turn that way.
23 for O'Neal. Can Smits answer? He can.
But it's down here on this defensive end. He has got to get his body up on Shaq, and although Shaq has the strength, he's got to know where his help is coming and send Shaq back to that person.
AC Green comes in for the rebound, and left alone, he hits from the foul line.
All 5 guys must rebound. When you look at Larry Bird, he knows possession of the basketball is everything, especially when you're trailing. You got to get back in the game. You got to get some stops.
Smits from Jackson. Only 4 players in the history of the NBA have more career assists than Mark Jackson.
Phil Jackson, with just a subtle way of getting his team's attention, told them after that last time out, he says, Rick Smits has 6 points, we have 5. We're starting out the wrong way. Bob?
Thanks, Ahmad. Trying to rectify that situation. They go to O'Neal. His hook is no good, but there's Rice with the follow, and now it's all over when it winds up in Shaq's hands.
Again, rebounding, one of the strengths of the Lakers, one of the best rebounding teams in the league, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league.
Into Shaq, who has 25. That one won't stay down, but the tip does.
2 offensive rebounds by Ron Harper. You've got to block out. If you're going to get back in this game, you have got to get on those boards. That is one of the Lakers' strengths.
Into O'Neal in the paint. The hop, the jumper. Dale Davis grabbed it. Score the basket on the goaltending call.
See what Shaq is doing now, he's not even waiting for any kind of double team. He's catching the ball and going quickly, and the Pacers are not reacting to it.
Mark Jackson for 3. and he scored 11.
All right, Bob, Rick Smits now on the bench. I had a chance to talk to him at halftime, and I asked him what he was going to do differently in the second half for his team. He says there's nothing we can do differently. It is basically just pretty much impossible to stop this guy. Never quite heard that type of a concession from a guy who's out on the court competing. Bob?
What we've seen more or less backs up his point of view, and Miller has his first field goal on his 9th attempt.
Well, see, he got to the free throw line, got a couple free throws, and that's what you do. You get yourself to the line, now start being more aggressive. Maybe he can get some rhythm.
Out to Harper, his three-pointer. Shaq's got the rebound, and the follow is good off the glass.
He just made a spectacular play. Perkins was in front of him. That was just great athletic ability by Shaq to go right over the top of him, take it away from him, and shoot the ball right in the basket.
Again, Indiana with a chance to cut it and lead. Jackson up and under, got it, plus the foul.
Well, Phil Jackson cannot be happy with this Indiana run, and Larry Bird has to be ecstatic. Pacers right now are pushing him a little bit. Let's see how they respond.
Shaw just in, gives it to Shaq, and Shaq's shot was partially blocked, but still goes. It wasn't clean, but it dropped. Miller off the dribble against Shaw, 21-hander, won't go, but the follow is there for Dale Davis.
See, I like what Reggie's doing right now, though. He's really attacking. He tried to jump in and get the foul on Shaw.
Shaw into the lane, blocked out of there by Dale Davis. What a job he's doing in the last several minutes. Here he is again. And Dale Davis, who made the All-Star team this year for the first time in his 9-year career, has made this a 4-point game. Shaw for 3. Can't silence the Pacers.
And look, they're off and running, trying to push the pace on the Lakers right now, getting him into a transition game.
Mark Jackson with the reverse. They're within 2.
Well, you know what Larry Bird told Jim Gray at halftime? He said, I like our position. I thought he was trying to pull a little side job on his team, but he must have done something we did, and they're right back in the game.
Kobe Bryant against Jalen Rose. Got it. There is no defensive scheme to stop that when he takes you one-on-one with moves of that sort. And why the Lakers aren't the ones watching on TV. Here's Miller on the drive. Shaq with the block. Kobe. And the Lakers get some breathing room. Back up by 6.
Reggie is taking one dribble too many.
Shaw from Shaq. O'Neal has a nickname for everything. He's taken to calling a play like that the Shaw-Shaq redemption when he hooks up with his old Orlando teammate. Best. Shaw for the rebound. Rick Fox in the front court. To O'Neal, who now has 33. Into the paint. Almost lost the dribble. Travis Best. Reggie, 4 seconds to shoot. Perkins camped out for a 3 and got it.
Well, he needed that. Sam Perkins is such a big part of this team because he's a big man who actually shoots more three-pointers than he does 2, and he will stretch the defense. Shot clock winding down. Big possession.
O'Neal finds Horry with a nice pass, and Robert Horry scores.
That backside guy on the defense has got to step up. That's twice now Shaq has passed out of the double teams for layups. Once to Shaw, this time to Horry.
Here's Crozier.
This guy's playing great.
And he brings them to within 6. They go deep to O'Neal, back to Shaw, around the perimeter to Fisher. O'Neal over Crozier for the rebound. He powers back up and scores.
That's what I was talking about, the rebound. You see Shaquille O'Neal now with 35, but they've got a small team out there. Sam Perkins has got to try to get his body on Shaq, but he just overpowered him.
Fox. And the Lakers up the lead to 10. Chris Mullin, who didn't play at all in the 6 games against New York, is in for the first time in the finals, wearing number 17 for the Pacers. Deep to O'Neal. He has 37 points.
Now Mullin is in there for one reason, to make some shots.
Crozier, who's been making them all night.
Wow, this guy. Now remember, he had 22 in game 1 of that New York series and then went ice cold the rest of the way. Off to a great start here tonight.
With 16. O'Neal again. 39 points, and watching this makes you appreciate the post defense of Portland. Lakers looking to put the Pacers away with a run here. It's Fox.
They cannot let Reggie Miller get a couple field goals. Make him go home with his taste in his mouth. Don't let him get going.
Here's Robert Ory. O'Neal. 41 points. And a chance to tack on another one.
But Reggie Miller, we know one thing. He will bounce back.
He's done it so many times before. Here's Dale Davis's jumper. Making it worse, though, for Reggie. This is his hometown. He told us yesterday, I'm not taking calls from any friends. It's family only. Here's Reggie Miller on the drive. Flips it up with the left hand and comes up empty. 1 for 15.
Now this is where they want to use clock and stay organized and look for that line.
Yeah.
Shawshank right there.
There's your Shawshank redemption.
Now that started on Orlando when these guys played together for the Magic. They do that as well as anybody in the NBA.
Jalen Rose quiets the crowd, but only a bit. O'Neal got it deep, and they fouled him. The basket doesn't count.
Shaquille O'Neal just feels the rhythm and rolls right to the basket. How about that finish? One hand going away from the basket, 7 feet 1, 330 pounds. The MVP, the look in his face. The man wants a championship to finish this season.
Well, the Pacers battled back. Were down by 17 twice. They got to within 4, but the Lakers answered.
Well, remember in the fourth period, McKee had a 3 that would have made it a 3-point game, and there's some of the spectacular ability they show in Jonathan Bender coming out of high school. Now, he's a guy that down the road is going to be a terrific player, but not ready yet to help this team.
And what high school is he from? Picayune High School in Mississippi. Bryant dribbles and waits for the buzzer. There it is. The Lakers take game 1.
Well, today it wasn't a late arriving bus for the Pacers, but it was an unwanted, very early wake-up call. At 6:45 this morning, the Pacers had a fire alarm. They were told to evacuate their hotel. The only guy who went down was Larry Bird. Said he'd already been up for 3 hours. I spoke to Bird. He said he had a conversation with Reggie Miller. He said to Reggie that he was 1 for 12 once in a playoff game. That being 1 for 16 was really no big deal. Anybody could do that. He said the true test of somebody who is truly great would be to take 30 shots. In other words, Reggie, keep shooting the ball.
Bob. Glenn Rice into the lane, left hand, and got it. Harden got only 1 for 8 in game 1. Lost in the shuffle because of Miller's 1 for 16 and because his team won. Here is Miller. How long will he wait? Not very. A very different result.
And you can feel the hush in the Staples Center here. They know what this guy's capable of. He can electrify his team with his shooting. That's what they need.
Here's Harper on the move with the left hand. Counted plus the foul. Mark Jackson picks up the personal. Here's Smits. He can take that jump hook over Shaq. The difference is he missed the first 3 times he tried in game 1. He hits right off the bat here.
That's a great call, Bob. And you heard his post-game comments in that. He said, I was nervous early. That was a very relaxed move across the lane.
Miller against Harper to the baseline with a flip that's good.
Reggie's off to a great start. He's got a layup, he's got a jumper, he's got 2 free throws. Exactly what you want to do if you're a scorer. Well, as a coach, if you're getting the shots and you're a good shooting team, you have to think at some point you're going to start making them.
That's what you really don't expect from AC Green, a bonus for the Lakers.
Well, what we've seen here from the Lakers is they haven't gone strictly to Shaq. It looks like they're getting a lot of others involved there early in the game, maybe hoping Shaq will dominate later.
Dale Davis.
Back-to-back jumpers, Dale Davis and AC Green, as you talked about. That's not what we expect from those 2 players, but quietly, Dale Davis has had a tremendous playoff series. Their leading rebounder, and really their one physical presence inside.
Jalen Rose. He led them in scoring this year, 18.2. just a fraction ahead of Miller's 18.1. First time in more than a decade that Reggie was not the Pacers' leading scorer. Shaquille O'Neal finds AC Green with a nice pass.
Now, Bob, one thing. The Pacers are a team that doesn't double team a lot, so they're very slow with their rotations. That weak side has got to prevent that cutter from getting a layup. Little arm wrestling with him as he goes across the lane, and that's a very tough foul. That's number 2.
Here's Miller streaking to the hoop and switching to the left hand. A collision with a cameraman by the basket stanchion. Reggie's okay. Here's Bryant. 6 on the shot clock. Reggie defending. Kobe finds Shaq, who powers up for the dunk. Plus the foul.
Now see, Rick Smith made a mistake there. Reggie flops back to take the foul, and he frees up Kobe Bryant. And you're going to see Rick Smith come out to contest the shot, and when he does, he leaves Shaquille O'Neal all alone underneath the basket for the power dunk and the foul. What you've got to do is you've got to make Kobe make that shot and stay at home on Shaquille O'Neal. Those are the kind of baskets that kill you.
Jalen Rose got it away over Kobe Bryant. Here's Glenn Rice, drilling the 3.
He was 1 for 8 in game 1. And you expect him as a better shooter to be able to make more shots. Already off to a much better start.
Crozier took it right in against Shaq, but couldn't finish it. Here comes Bryant out of the pack, shoveling it to Harper, and Harper lays it in. Jalen Rose working on Kobe, who poked it away, but it comes to Perkins. Rose again, he feels confident against Bryant, and why not?
Well, Rose and Miller have both gotten the message from their coach, Larry Bird. We expect you to shoot, keep shooting, and knock the ball in the basket, and both of them have gotten off to very good starts here tonight.
Harper, all kinds of time, and hits the 3, essentially a set shot. No one came anywhere near it. Kobe Bryant.
Looks like he sprained his ankle when Kobe came down. He's on the floor.
And he's writhing in pain, holding his left ankle. Meanwhile, Rose guns a 3 at the other end. Shaq takes the rebound. The Lakers have a break. Harper lays it in, but the greater concern is Kobe Bryant.
Now, Kobe came down as he shot that jumper. Now they're going to have to take the foul. But, Bob, tell me, how can this happen? You've got 5 on 4. You shoot a jumper, and they shoot a layup at the other end with one of their players laying on the floor. How can the Lakers do that? Where is Indiana's defense getting back?
And it bounces to Rice. Rick Fox had it knocked away by Crozier. He chases it down and lays it in.
Now, those are the kind of hustle plays that will make Larry Bird smile. The ball was knocked loose. Austin Crozier picks it up, outruns Harper, and lays it in the basket.
Rice to Harper on the drive. And Ron Harper has scored 11 first-quarter points.
All right, thanks, Bob. I just spoke with the Lakers PR director, John Black, and the report is that Kobe has a sprained left ankle, but they are retaping it, and he will come out and try to continue to play. Bob?
Good news for the Lakers. At first, it looked as if it might be more serious than that. O'Neal, turn around from near the foul line, and he hits it.
That's okay. That's not one of those shots where you're laying it up or dunking it. At least he forced him to make a jump shot.
Perkins, this is his specialty. Shot it long. Rose knocked it away. And hits.
Great hustle play by Jalen Rose. Terrific.
Here's Perkins camped out for 3. McKee again. Off Perkins' hands and grabbed by Shaw. It's a 3-on-1 break. Best is the only man back. Fisher pulls up and banks it in.
The transition defense for Indiana has been very poor here.
Brian Shaw to the left hand. Crozier got a piece of it, and McKee takes it. Crozier inside.
He is so active tonight, running the floor on every possession. This is the best I've ever seen him play.
O'Neal over Perkins. Going to follow his own here and score, plus the foul.
That's just one of those baskets. You're not going to stop me.
Rick Fox. And Fox, who was a big contributor off the bench in the opener with 11 points and 4 rebounds, gets his first basket of this game.
Now go inside to Smits against Travis Knight. This is what he's on the floor, throwing the ball in the post.
Davis into the paint, turn around, good. 5 seconds to shoot, and O'Neal will. Didn't draw iron. Miller's got it for Indiana. Jalen Rose spins and hits.
Rose having a terrific game. He's not living with that jump shot. He's getting that low post area. He's posting up.
Miller. Harper up on it. Dale Davis lost it. 5 seconds as he gives it to Miller. Reggie with the running one-hander.
Now, the other night he couldn't make a shot. Now he's feeling it. That was a difficult shot. On the run, off the wrong foot to beat the clock.
And he's hit 4 of 5. Shaw loves it for Shaq, who finishes it, and they tack on the foul.
When Brian Shaw is in the corner, you cannot let Shaq roll off of you. This is their play. They did this in Orlando. They're doing it here. See, Tabaka's got to lay in behind him. If he's in there to get fouls, let him catch the ball and then foul him. Not foul him after a spectacular play. But what about the grace of this big man? He goes up strong and finishes, and you see Larry Bird saying, that's not what I want.
They're 0 for 6 in this game. O'Neal. Well, if he's going to make those, you're in deep, deep trouble.
Yeah, you don't want to foul him when he's shooting that shot. That's a smart play by Tabak to not foul him there. That's just a great shot. And I think Larry Bird said we're going to take a timeout and talk it over as he wants to get Mark Jackson in the game. Lakers on a little surge here to take a 4-point lead.
Dale Davis got the bounce.
See, Reggie Miller's talking to Mark Jackson. Get up, pressure the ball. Don't let them get into their offense so easily.
Jalen Rose, the follow by Davis. Count it plus the foul.
Well, Dale Davis, that's what he does best right there. Big, strong, a terrific offensive rebounder.
Glenn Rice with Crozier on him. Unleashes a 3 and hits it.
You got to make him put it on the floor, Bob.
He is the only Laker who hit better than 36% on threes for the season. Indiana has 8 players who can make that claim. Jalen Rose penetrates, pulls up and hits. Here's Glenn Rice for 3.
Quick 2-for-1 possession is what Phil drew up, and they ran it perfectly. You got to stay with Glenn Rice. You come off of him and Harper finds him. They ran that play perfectly.
Now it's Crozier.
Wow.
Quick update on Kobe Bryant. As we mentioned earlier, moderate sprain, x-rays were negative. I talked to trainer Gary Vitti. He said that they have already started his therapy. They've used 2 or 3 different kinds of ice. They've got him on range of motion exercises, hopefully trying to get him ready for Sunday. But right now, he is day-to-day. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks. This is not to minimize the importance and the greatness of a young star like Kobe Bryant. But they can win without him, at least in the short term, as Smits goes up with the hook and connects. In the playoffs, in games where Kobe Bryant scores 30 or more, the Lakers are 1 and 3. Here's Shaw.
It's amazing. It seems like the Lakers always come up with a guy to make a shot at the right time for them. We saw it in the Portland series with Shaw. Tonight hits a big jumper as Rose misses.
Smits rebounds and gives it to Reggie. Now he screens for him, and Miller fires home the jumper.
See, I like that. The Lakers like to send to the sideline, to the baseline on that screen roll. They screened that way, and he was able to step up and get the shot before Shaq could get a handout on him.
And after a 1 for 16 opener, Miller is 5 for 6. He's got Rice, who fakes his way by him and connects again.
You made a great point. Glenn Rice is going to be the guy now. That's 15 points for him already in the game after 3 points in game 1.
Lakers by 3.
Remember now, Smits has 3 fouls. He's got to stay away from his 4th.
And O'Neal scores on it. Shaq with 17. Despite shooting 5 of 17 at the free throw line. Jackson backs up for 3. And that's the first 3-pointer of the night for Indiana after 6 misses.
Well, Travis Best and Mark Jackson were 0 for 4 in that first half with 1 point. They split to 24 minutes, so they need some production from those 2 guys.
Ron Harper continues to contribute.
Reggie's got to do a better job on defense now.
Harper knocked it away. Jackson recovers. 6 seconds to shoot. Jalen Rose around Rice for the pull-up.
Oh, it's a goaltend.
And the officials agree. Joe Crawford makes the call. Credit the basket to Rose. The goaltending call on Shaq. Out to Jackson. Looking for Reggie. Bounces it to him, and he lays it up over Shaq. No good. Davis's tip won't drop it. It's still a tie game. Here's Harper on the move. Ron Harper with 15 points. The Pacers try to come back quickly. They spot Reggie up for three.
See, you can't give him those kind of baskets. Phil Jackson knows that. He saw that in Chicago. Those are the kind of things that Reggie loves, to ignite his team with that kind of shooting.
Jalen Rose. 22 points for Jalen Rose now.
Well, and he started it out. It wasn't like he drifted away in that first quarter. He got involved even with Reggie, and both of those two guys are on tonight. That's a positive sign for Indiana.
Here's Shaw in transition. He throws up a hook, and Davis blocks it back in his face. Miller sprints out. Easy two.
See, I think you got to be very careful with the Lakers right now because the Pacers have them scrambling. They've got him in a game right now that Phil Jackson does not want to play. They want to play rhythm basketball, get it into Shaq. This kind of game right now, Shaq can't get into it.
Robert Horry. Big hoop.
Again, timely shooting. Robert Horry, Brian Shaw, we saw it in that Portland series in Game 4. They have not shot it well. They've shot it well at the right time.
Rose over on the double. They swing it up top to Rice. And Rice is on fire from downtown tonight.
You don't want to leave Glenn Rice. You don't want to rotate and let him shoot the basketball. That's the last thing Larry Bird wants to see.
O'Neal, turn around, got it.
But you know what? That's not a layup, and that's not a dunk.
Let's talk about Kobe in that sort of same situation. What's the thought process?
Well, the thought process is simple. Dr. Lombardo and Gary Vitti, our trainer, made the right call. Keep him out. Keep that swelling down, because everybody feared if he would have came back and played tonight, it would have swelled over tonight and probably wouldn't play Game 3 in Indiana or possibly Game 5. So now we get the ice on it, keep pressure on it, keep the swelling down. So hopefully, you know, it's a day-to-day process, but hopefully he can play on Sunday.
You know how tough it was when you had the injury and couldn't continue to play. How tough is it on Kobe wanting to come back and not being able to play?
Well, he wanted to come back, and he did everything in his power to try to get back. But when he started walking on it, he couldn't help us. That's just the bottom line.
Here's Crozier against Horry. Back to Perkins, open for three, and banked it in accidentally.
Is that shades of Brian Shaw against Portland when he banked that shot in at the end of 3 to cut into the lead?
Here's Rick Fox. Harper looking for Shaq. They get it deep to him, and there's no way in the world that Perkins can contend with that.
He was trying to hold him out, and Shaq just walked him back into the lane. You see the smile on Shaq's face. You know what he's thinking? I'm just going to wear you down. What a huge game this is right now for both teams. Either a 2-0 lead, a 1-1 split, and a change in the home court writing right now.
Harper. Big shot by Ron Harper. Fisher, a three. The game's biggest lead, Lakers by 7.
Miscommunication defensively. Two guys went to the ball. One more pass, Fisher wide open.
Crozier rebounds. And then tips it in. Either he or Dale Davis tipped it in.
I tell you who tipped it in. John Sally tipped that ball in. Now Crozier's probably going to get a credit, but Sally tipped that ball in the basket.
Glenn Rice for three. 21 points for Glenn Rice.
But when you double team, you got to know who the shooters are.
Jalen Rose answers at the other end, but his basket was a 2. Rice's was a 3, and he's made 5 of 6, speaking of Rice, from beyond the arc.
Now Jackson gives you better offense when you're in the game, but he's a bad defensive player, and that's where he's going to really have to step it up.
O'Neal scores against 2 defenders. He has 32. Miller on Harper. 4-point game with 4 minutes left. Rice into the lane. Shaq to finish it up.
Pacers are going to take a timeout to talk it over, but that dribble penetration just breaks you completely down. Where is Reggie Miller?
There coming off the screen, but Horry got up on him. Now Crozier bumps off Shaw. No call, and Crozier's jumper bounces in.
Bryant Shaw tried to take the little flop there on Crozier. It didn't work. We now have a one-possession game, and remember, the Pacers, the best three-point shooting team in the league.
O'Neal, and they grab him. Now, it will be O'Neal shooting because he had possession of the ball. What they can't do inside 2 minutes is foul him off the ball. Otherwise, the Lakers, as Doug said, can nominate anybody they want to shoot it, and they keep possession.
This is where they miss Kobe Bryant.
A 4-point game. The foul on Davis a moment ago was his 5th, so he's got to watch it. Jalen Rose on the run, tough shot. It's in Shaquille O'Neal's hands, and they foul him as soon as he grabs it. And if that's Davis, and it is, he's fouled out. Almost like clockwork, 1 of 2.
See, now Reggie keeps dropping the ball into Crozier. He's got to come off that screen and attack Bryant Shaw and get to the foul line or get a basket. They're going to double team him, and they're going to get the foul.
And that has to make Phil Jackson wince, because you foul Reggie in this situation, it's almost a guaranteed 2. With his first 2 points of the fourth quarter, he has 21 for the game, and more importantly, it's a 3-point difference.
Will they throw it once again to Shaq? You cannot let Shaq lay the ball in the basket. No layups, no dunks.
He looks for Horry, and the grabs plus the foul. A spectacular shot by Robert Horry off the O'Neal assist.
Big men can't do that. You're not supposed to be able to make a play like that. Shaquille gets the ball in the lane, and watch this touch pass. He realizes 3 or 4 guys are coming at him. At the last minute, he drops it down to Robert Horry. And how often have we talked about either an Horry or a Fox or a Shaw, somebody making a big shot? This could be a dramatic 3-point play.
And it is. Here are the Pacers down 6. Jalen Rose to the basket.
See, they didn't need a 3. That's a good play by Rose. You shoot a 3 and you miss. Oh, they're going to foul. They're going to foul Perkins. Perkins didn't know the rule. He fouled Shaq off the ball. Larry Bird's telling him the rule. Now it's going to be probably Glenn Rice shooting a free throw. Who else? I guess maybe Horry's going to shoot the free throw, and then they get the ball back. That's not having the awareness of the rule.
In it goes to Fox.
It's sometimes the simple little breakdowns that cost you the most.
Fox on the run, banks it in. They'll count the basket, plus the foul, and it begins to look like even without Kobe Bryant, the Lakers will take a 2-0 lead to Indiana. Sam Perkins trying to redeem himself, and he hits the 3 to make it a 4-point game. And they immediately grab Harper and foul him.
See, now, if you're Robert Horry, the one thing, now, Ron Harper is not a great free throw shooter. You've got to look for the best free throw shooter you have out there. Maybe a Bryant Shaw, Fox, or whatever. You just can't throw the ball into the first available guy. The last thing you do is take a timeout.
Trailing by 6. With precious little time remaining, it's Rose into a crowd, and Horry swats it out of bounds. Rose with the bandage on his neck. He was hit up under the chin at the end of the third quarter.
I'm really surprised that Reggie Miller has looked not to shoot the basketball or be so much involved here. It's been Crozier and Rose.
Jackson backs up for 3. And it's Laker ball. That's perhaps a foul over the back.
That's on Sam Perkins. That's going to do it right there. 17 seconds to go. If he makes one of these, it's a 3-possession game. Rose has had a good matchup, and Crozier, but I just don't think you can lose this guy on the floor. He's so vital, especially he's such a great free throw shooter, and he has the ability to get to the line.
Last gasp for the Pacers. Miller to Jackson, a long 3, which probably comes too late. It's a 5-point difference. Here's Rick Fox. They're just looking to dribble some time away. Rose comes over and fouls him.
Rick Smith should have taken the foul. You got to take the foul there. He let him burn about 4 more seconds off the clock.
Down by 7 with 7 seconds to play, and they lose it. Fox could have taken it to the hole, but he's content to just let it tick away and to go with his team to Indiana, up 2-0 in the series. Conseco Fieldhouse, the new retro facility that celebrates the rich history of Indiana basketball. And a boisterous crowd here hoping their Pacers can pull off one of the better comebacks in the history of the NBA Finals. And what better place to do it than here, where this season the Pacers were 36-5 in the regular year, including a victory against the Lakers that snapped a 16-game LA winning streak, and 7-2 in the playoffs, and one of those 2 defeats occurred when Reggie Miller was suspended following a fight in Philadelphia. The Pacers are back home in Indiana, but down 0-2 in the series. With Doug Collins, I'm Bob Costas. Jackson. Here's Glenn Rice. Jalen Rose on him in a battle of former Michigan stars. Rice off balance, banks it in. Whale of a shot.
Now he becomes their number 2 option with Kobe out with his injury. We saw that the other night with his 21 points. So he will be much more aggressive on the offensive end.
Jalen Rose picking up where he left off in L.A.
Great sign. Jalen Rose needs to get started early. He did in game 2, had a big game with 30.
Harper into the lane, left hand, way off. Jackson behind the back for Davis, who lost it to Harper. It's a 4-on-2 break for L.A. Shaw finishes it.
Now Larry Bird's not happy with that pass by Mark Jackson. A no-look behind-the-back pass. He turns the ball over. Dale Davis, even if he would have caught it, could have done nothing with it. About one of the things that hurt Indiana in that game 1 was points off turnovers. L.A. got 19 of them. The other night they turned it over 6 times only. That's why they were in the game.
And in the 2 games in L.A., as Reggie Miller fires for the first time and hits. Started to say about Mark Jackson in the 2 games in L.A., he had only 1 turnover combined. Still plenty of time. Green on the drive, and he banks it in.
You can just see the lateral movement of Rick Smith is just not there. A.C. Green beats him off the dribble.
Dale Davis is on Glenn Rice on a switch. Rice takes him into the lane. Smith's bothered the shot. Rose has the rebound. Rose pulls up and hits.
I think Indiana's got to do more of this. Without Kobe on the floor, they've got to pick the pace of the game up, try to wear Shaq down, playing 48 minutes. Anytime they get a chance, run.
They get it to Shaq deep, and Smits can't stop him.
Well, that's like our open. When he gets it down there, it's too deep and it's too late. He'll just overpower you.
He has outscored Smits 83-16 and out-rebounded him 43-7. The catch by Rose on the shot. 3 for 3 for Jalen Rose.
They're coming off screens by Smith, guarded by Shaq. Shaq is not showing up, so if they'll take their time and set good screens, they can get those shots.
The rebound tap to Jackson. And Jackson takes it all away, and the tip is there for Reggie Miller.
Again, the run, and you see Shaq make him change into the floor. And, Bob, if you get the Lakers playing this way, a lot of times they forget about going inside to Shaquille O'Neal.
Another Indiana turnover. Harper took it away from Jackson. Here's Shaw laying it in.
Now, Shaw was 3 for 18 in the first 2 games in L.A. He has 2 layups tonight.
Mark Jackson to Smits, backing in on Green with the jumper. That's good.
I like that. You come out of the timeout and you get your big guy involved. If he's going to be on the floor and play against Shaq right now, let him score some points. That's why he's out there.
Here are the Lakers trailing by 4. Shaw's pass knocked away by Miller, but Shaq recovers it. Nice look to A.C. Green. Green misses the reverse. Jackson to Davis. And now Miller spotted up for 3.
They are the best three-point shooting team in the league. In game 2, they were 5 for 20. Really cost them. Big shot for Reggie Miller.
Here's Jalen Rose hitting the floater. He's hit all 4 of his field goal attempts.
And he's picked up right where he started off game 2, and that's a very positive sign.
Harper got it.
How about Ron Harper? I told him today, I went out and spoke to him before the game. I said, is that jumper still hot? He said, yes. And I said, are you having flashbacks when you played in Cleveland? And he just sort of smiled a little bit.
Mark Jackson, Dale Davis, Smits.
When you're struggling, get an easy one. That should put a smile on his face.
Shaq's on Smits. He hooks over him. He needs that.
You know, he had that shot in Los Angeles. He started out in game 1, missed his first 3, but Shaq's not trying to block that shot. If he'll take his time, he can get that shot off.
But he's showing more aggressiveness here at home than he did in the first 2 games in L.A. Here's O'Neal against 2 defenders who are powerless to stop him. Jackson was over to try and help Smits, but once he got it that deep, all they could do was pray that he'd miss the shot. Reggie with the shake move and the drive.
Shaquille O'Neal was out high on the floor. He was nowhere to be found as Reggie Miller drove the ball to the basket. Without him, Robert Horry's the only other guy that can block a shot.
Shaq in the paint. Here's Shaq, 3 seconds to shoot. His jumper is short, and Rose takes it. Good defense by Indiana. Here's Crozier. Off the fake, he drives the lane. Out to Reggie. Moves in a bit closer and drills it.
Home, sweet home. Reggie Miller loved to shoot in this building. Off to a great start.
Rick Fox had it poked away by Jalen Rose. Ball still loose. Fox recovers it, lobs it for Shaq with the emphatic finish.
Those are those loose balls that you got to come up with. Shaq gets the 2 points.
And Rose flies in for the rebound. Perkins hands it to Miller. Miller takes the contact, hits the basket, and will come to the line.
Reggie's got to be very careful. He threw his fist at Hubert Evans, the referee, because he had got what he thought 2 no-count calls. But here comes Reggie cutting to the basket once again. Sacrifices that little skinny body of his to throw it into Shaquille O'Neal, and see him goes over to Hubert Evans, and Hubert Evans watched him the whole time.
Took it right to Shaquille O'Neal, who's built like a building. They go to O'Neal, his turnaround in the lane. Nice touch on it. Here's Travis Best with that floater.
Now that play was made by Jalen Rose. He screened 2 guys on the play. No weak side help from the Lakers. Phil Jackson cannot like that, letting Best get a layup.
Rick Fox hits the 3. And that brings the Lakers to within 8. Crozier. He answers immediately with a 3 of his own.
He played, I thought, the best 2 games back-to-back he'd played all season long. He had the one great game against New York in game 1 with 22. He did it twice in a row out in L.A. Welcome sign here, hitting that jumper.
3 seconds to shoot. O'Neal with the hook. Got his own rebound. And hits the follow.
You just bounce off of him. I mean, Dale Davis, a big, strong man. Shaq just put his arm on him, and he rocked him back.
Fox goes for the steal. Rose spins behind him. Gives it up to Best. Now Rose is free, head of the key. The follow by Dale Davis.
I like that action, though. Dribble penetration. Best gets in there. He could have forced it. Gave it to Jalen Rose, and then Dale Davis with a nice tip.
O'Neal powers up and scores.
You just can't keep him out of the lane. You have to have such good ball pressure that you can't throw it in so quickly. That's when you'll get the 3-second violation. You got to pressure the ball enough so he has to get out of the lane.
Here's Rice at the foul line. Off-balance shot and a tough one, and he put it down, and it is a 4-point trip for the Lakers.
He has got to be more aggressive. They're going into Shaq, but he's doing a lot of standing. Glenn Rice is vital. They need 20 points from him today, and the Pacers know that.
Crozier with the move and the reverse.
He is so confident right now. He has the quickness on Horry.
8 points for Crozier in this first half. Robert Horry is able to answer. Here is Best, who according to plan has played the second quarter. Jackson played the first. Miller splits 2 defenders but lost the ball. It's a 3-on-2 break, and Horry is there to finish it.
That's what I was talking about now. It's down to 7. As strongly as Indiana has played, the Lakers are making a push. That's what great teams do at the end of quarters and halves.
It was 15. The Lakers are on a 10-2 run. Travis Best puts a halt to it.
That's a big hoop for Travis Best. We talked about his struggles. He's got a layup here in the game. Now the little jump shot. Now Indiana needs a stop.
The crowd right now about as quiet as it's been in this game. And Shaw hits the layup on the drive, and again, it's a 7-point difference.
Where is the weak side awareness of the Pacers? Guys are driving down the lane. Nobody's even seeing them, Bob. You can't let a guy get to the basket like that in this kind of game.
Best again. Good again. Glenn Rice lost it to Miller. 3-on-1. Best in the middle. Back to Reggie. Lays it in.
To be a delay of game on Reggie Miller there. He knocked that ball loose so that the Lakers couldn't run right back at them. If they score here, they can get it under double digits. That would be big for the Lakers.
Shaw lost it to Rose, who glances at the clock. There's still time. He takes it in and scores. Do they give him the continuation? Yes, they do, plus the foul.
You know, the Lakers might execute better without Kobe Bryant, but I tell you, they miss his ability to be able to get his own shot right now.
Fisher near midcourt. Off to Rice for three. How about that? 7/10 of a second.
How is the best shooter on the Lakers wide open?
O'Neal with 5 seconds to shoot. Harper with the fake and the pop. Just before the 24-second clock, Shaq recovers it, powers in, and tack on the foul.
So that's the upsetting thing right there. If you're Larry Bird, not only do you give up the offensive rebound, but you give up a foul and a basket. That's Smith's third.
Reggie against Shaw. Jumper over him.
Reggie watched that whole time. He saw Shaq underneath the basket. He knew he could not go all the way, so he got where he wanted and pulled up and hit the shot.
O'Neal double team. Has it back from Shaw. Davis trying to defense him. Made him take a shot that Indiana will accept. But if Shaq is going to hit it, well, all you can do is shrug your shoulders.
That was great defense, and that's why he's the MVP in the league and the most dominant player in the league.
Harper cuts in front and steals it. Now he's got it back, pulls up, and banks it in.
Larry Bird's got to be totally upset with Rick Smith right now. He's gotten fouls, throws a bad pass there. And Larry Bird's trying to give himself a chance to play out of this.
Jalen Rose can't believe that Glenn Rice didn't foul him. So Rose takes the shot and it works out better for him. A two-pointer just inside the line. Shaw looking for O'Neal. Back to Shaq in the paint, jump hook.
See what's happening, the Pacers are double teaming. They're allowing that ball to come back to the passer. The double team guy's got to get out there. Shaq is reposting. They're going right back to him. They've got to deny that pass out of the double team.
Miller, the fake, the lunging one-hander, good off the glass.
Keep attacking the basket. Don't settle for long jump shots. Put the onus on the officials to blow that whistle and get you to the line.
Miller has 20 to lead the Pacers. Shaq leads LA with 21. Harper to the foul line. His pass stolen by Jackson. Miller on the wing to Rose. Jalen Rose got him.
This is when they're at their best. Get some turnovers, run out, and score before the Lakers defense can get set.
Here's Reggie to the baseline. Slings it out to Jackson for three.
The Pacers have made an adjustment. They're screening differently. They're screening Reggie Miller so he can get free on the baseline. It's collapsing the defense, and now they're kicking out. A great adjustment by the Pacers.
Shot clock is down to 5. Smith's poked it away. Rose comes up with it. Miller's ahead of him, but Jalen takes it all the way himself and slams it down. And the lead is back up to 14.
And it's done with turnovers and open court play. More importantly, your best players are getting layups.
Finds Perkins spotted up for three. And Indiana is on a 12-0 run.
Mark Jackson loves to post up against smaller guards. He had Fisher in the post. They had to double. They needed a big shot there from Sam Perkins.
Deep to O'Neal. Ball still loose. Horry rips it away from Jackson. Goes up with a shot. It's snatched out of the air by Davis. That's goaltending. Shaq coming over to help. Jackson puts it up anyway and nearly hit it. Harper filling the lane and laying it in.
The difference is Indiana's getting timely shooting today. They didn't get that in Los Angeles.
Rose on the crossover and the drive. Got it again.
How good was that? Jalen Rose, terrific offensive player. Wants to be a point guard. Wants the ball in his hands. Gets to the basket, that little floating left-handed hook. That was a great play.
19 for Jalen. The lob to Shaq underneath. He loses everybody and scores.
You really can't front Shaq down there because there's no weak side help, and you don't want to give him a layup. The worst thing you do is foul him and make him make a couple free throws.
Miller against Harper. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Reggie backs up and fires.
You think he likes shooting here at home?
He's hit 10 of 18, and he scored 22. The lead is back to 15.
And he's buying some time for Jalen Rose right now with McKee, letting him rest with a little bit of a lead. He'll come back to start the quarter.
Ball poked away. Reggie wins the race to it. Pulls up for 3. He loves to do that. To try and break the opponent's back, just like his coach Larry Bird would do in the middle of a run for the Celtics. Here's Horry. Quick first step on Crozier, and he slams it down. Crozier has done that to him a few times in this series, and now Horry returns the favor. Here's Derek Fisher. Thought about a 3. Here's the fake into the lane. Gives it up to Shaq. He was fouled and puts it in. The basket will count, giving him 26. Robert Horry finds Fisher. Here's his 3. And that cuts it to 13. It's Horry. And it's an 11-point game. Best against Fisher. Gives it up to Rose, who's guarded by Fox. Reggie Miller back on the floor, but it's Best for 3. And he got a great look at it and put it down.
But did you see how quickly they got into their offense? Rose got it. Best faded away and hit the outside jump shot. That's nice.
Harper, can he answer? He hits a 3 at the other end.
Ron Harper, shot the 3 at about 30% during the regular season. Going into today's game, he hit 4 out of 8. He was shooting 50% from the three-point line.
And he promptly loses it to Best.
Somebody's got to stay back with Harper here. He's all alone.
Sam Perkins with the fake on Horry. Gives it up to Crozier for the dunk.
That's very nice. Playing 4-on-5 right there because Harper was out of the play. You drive that ball to the basket. Shaq comes over. You get a dunk. Once again, they stem the tide. They lead by 13.
Fisher off the fake.
Wow, what a shot there. Shot clock going down. Derek Fisher once again hits the shot. Hanging around 10 or 11 points. Keeping the pressure on the Pacers to score.
Horry gives them a fresh 24. Fox backs up for 3.
Oh, offensive rebounds normally mean you can kick that ball out for open shots. You have to remember that play right there, Bob. Instead of the rebound coming down up 13, it's now a 10-point game.
Harper looking for Shaq. He touch passes it out to Horry. Now Fisher, who hits another big shot for the Lakers.
Well, they're trusting it. Shaq is not trying to force anything. Down to a 7-point game here. At what point in time does Larry Bird look and maybe go back with Mark Jackson here if this continues to close down?
Dale Davis on him. He backs him in. He takes the turnaround, and he cuts the lead to 5.
The Lakers are right where they want to be right now. The pressure is on the Pacers here at home. The Lakers have a little bit of a cushion, so right now the edge has to go to them. The Pacers have got to stay sharp. Doing a lot of standing around here, Bob, on their offense. That clock once again winding down on them.
Crozier screens for Best, leaving him alone for 3, and there's your answer.
Wow, they needed that, and Travis Best has hit 2 huge threes.
Fisher, Miller's got him on a switch. 3 seconds to shoot. Shaq will. How big might this be? Potential 3-point play. The foul is on Best, his second. Here's Shaq with 8 on the 24. Out to Harper. Dribbles into the lane. Flips it up and hits it.
What a shot by Harper. Just sort of pirouetted around Austin Crozier. Now Mark Jackson is in the game instead of Travis Best.
Crozier, contact. Ball loose. Crozier picks it back up and scores.
Great hustle. Great. He just wanted the basketball, and what a big basket to put him back up 6.
And only a tick or 2 left on the shot clock when he did it. again, it's a 4-point difference as the clock moves down toward 2 minutes.
The Lakers are scoring easily. The Pacers are having to grind it out right now.
Shaq has 32. Whistle at the other end.
Rick Fox there, a bad foul. You are over the limit, and Reggie comes flying out over a screen, and you grab his arm. Now, Bob, watch this here. Here's Reggie. He's great at doing this. Watch Fox reach out and grab him. You cannot do that. And as you've talked about before, second best free throw shooter in the NBA, this should be an automatic 2 points.
Gets the shooter's roll, and it's a 6-point game. Exactly 2 minutes left. Here's Brian Shaw. His pass is deflected by Miller, stolen by Crozier, but there's a foul.
Who do they call that on? Dale Davis inside? Because that ball was deflected. They're going to call the foul right there. That ball is tipped. Indiana would have had the ball under 2 minutes, up 6. Now Shaq has 2 free throws.
Hack-a-Shaq, not such a bad idea tonight. He's 2 for 10. 2 for 11.
You got to go back.
Some breathing room for the Pacers, who are in front by 6.
You got to go back to Reggie, who's now being played by Harper.
Jackson turns the corner. Lost control, but there was a foul. With 1:29 remaining. Timeout Lakers. Glenn Rice. His jumper is short. The rebound tapped to the side by Crozier and recovered by Rose.
That's pretty tough. Glenn Rice sits there that whole time, and they ask him to come in and get a basket. A lot of questions. Why did Glenn Rice not play in the second half? Was he that bad defensively?
Here's Perkins. This could put the Lakers away. Horry rebounds exactly a minute as he brings it out of the backcourt. Here's Shaq, and Perkins, who has fouls to give personally, that was only his second, immediately fouls him. You could say that Shaq's free throw shooting is at least a big part of the difference in this game. Even after making that one, he's 22 of 57. It's only around 38% for the series. Jackson clutches the rebound. 1 of 2 for O'Neal. A 6-point difference, 45 seconds. Jackson dribbling some time away, keeping it away from Harper. 10 on the shot clock as he spins into the lane, off to Crozier. O'Neal with the rebound, and the Lakers still have life.
That would have put it away there. That would have given them an 8-point lead.
They're thinking about a 3 if they can get a good look. Robert Horry lets it go. Could have cut the lead in half. O'Neal rebounds. Harper will try it, and he'll hit it.
Long shots, long rebounds. Reggie just got to hold it here. They're going to foul him.
Well, of course, that's the man the Pacers want at the line.
It's interesting. Jalen Rose walked over to give him 5 to slap his hand. Reggie wanted no part of it. Leave me alone. I'm concentrating here. This one will give us a 5-point lead if he can knock this one down, is what he's saying. Now he gives him 5. He said, look, he said, I want you to mess with my mind. I want to make those free throws.
Shaq 3 of 13 on free throws as he scored 33. They go right to him, and it's over his head. Now with 12 seconds to play, Crozier into Rose. The Lakers have no choice but to foul. But to have a truly realistic shot at winning this series, they've got to be the first team since this format came into play in 1985 to sweep all 3 in the middle. Because if they go back down 3-2 after winning 2 of 3 here, you got to win games 6 and 7 in L.A. with, we presume, Kobe Bryant back. That's a tall order.
Well, that's the big question is, how good will Kobe Bryant be by Wednesday? Will he be healthy enough to play, or are they going to have to go with him on Wednesday night?
Glenn Rice looking to get off a quick 3, which is short, and then off O'Neal's hands, apparently. And the Pacers will have it to finish up the last 5 seconds and change. Into Miller. They immediately foul him.
Reggie's saying, thanks, Brian. That'll give me 2 more points in the book here tonight. Normally, you think up 7 with 5 seconds to go, you just let the clock burn out.
If he hits this one, he ties Shaq for game-high honors. This would be his 33rd point. And the Pacers hit the century mark. Brian Shaw, his 3 is the game's last shot, and that's it. The Pacers' new field house, which is winning raves all around the league. Many think it's the best building in the NBA. It pays tribute to Indiana's storied basketball history, including the Pacers, 3-time champions of the ABA, and looking to even this series tonight in pursuit of their first ever NBA championship. Kobe Bryant of the Lakers, a spectator in Game 3 as the Pacers got back into it with a win on this floor. And his status for Game 4 is the question that has hung in the air in the days in between Sunday's Game 3 and tonight's 4th game of the series. With Doug Collins, I'm Bob Costas. Let's answer that question right away. Here's Ahmad Rashad.
Thanks, Bob. I spoke to Kobe shortly after he walked into the arena tonight. He told me that not only will he play, but he will start. The ankle has very little swelling in it, but it is a bit stiff. He practiced yesterday and said after practice it was a little bit sore, but he says he's about 75%. He doesn't know how he's going to react during game time conditions, but he did say that with all the excitement and all the anxiety, he felt like everything should be all right. Bob?
Reggie for 3.
Pacers have not shot well from 3 this whole series. Could this be the night they break loose? That was a tough shot.
Here's Smits going to work and scoring.
Now, Rick Smits has really struggled in this series. 10 of 29. Big basket. Reggie with the 3s, followed up by Smits in the post. Good start for the Pacers.
Now he drives by Shaq and scores again.
Little dose of confidence here by Rick Smits. It looks like he's got a bloody nose out there. He's got some cotton up in his nose, so we don't know when that happened, but maybe that's helped him.
Pass in the lane to Jalen Rose, who converts off the assist from Jackson.
Oh, they got Reggie going. They got Rose going. Identical to Game 3. They have Smits going. A great sign here for the Pacers offensively.
Slings it out to Rice, who hits the jumper plus the foul. Who had only 3 points in Game 1 and only 7 in Game 3 with a 21-point outburst sandwiched in between. Smits again, this time against Shaq with the hook. Ron Harper. Shaq on the offensive glass with the dunk.
What a powerful move. He just tipped the ball to himself. Dale Davis tried to keep him off the block. Just not big enough. Then the powerful finish.
Bouncing to Jackson. Now Smits. 4 for 4.
You think confidence is not an amazing thing? Now, Rick Smits couldn't make a basket the first 3 games.
Bryant hits over Jackson.
See, I think as the game goes on, if Kobe can get his ankle to loosen up, it appears already he's starting to feel much better about it than he did the first couple minutes, Bob.
Jalen Rose comes off the screen and pops the jumper.
2 good screens, actually. He got one from Dale Davis and then one from Rick Smits. It's interesting, but Indiana's screening much better at home than they did in Los Angeles. Execution much better.
AC Green on the move against Smits. Count it plus the foul.
Oh, that's a bad foul there because now you've got to take yourself out of the game. Rick Smits is doing so well. That's his 2nd foul. He's going to have to sit. Shaquille will help in the lane against everything.
Davis screens for Miller. Rice fights through it. Reggie for 3. He had made only 3 3-pointers in the entire series. He's hit 2 in the first 5 minutes of this game. Crozier crashing the offensive glass but couldn't control it. Glenn Rice. A 2-pointer just inside the line.
Now who's guarding him? How did they get switched on that? This is Glenn Rice now, who now has 7 points on 2 shots.
Jackson. How about that one? This is Shaw with the ball. He has not shot well in this series. 6 of 28. And he's missed all 10 3-pointers he's attempted. Robert Horry to the hoop. You were talking about that in Game 3. With those long strides, his ability to close ground on the basket quickly. Sam Perkins, this is his shot. And on his 39th birthday, he hits his first three.
That's why you want a big guy on the floor who can shoot that Shaq has to play. Otherwise, he's back in the lane, and he creates so many problems for your defense.
Now Brian Shaw with the left hand, he banks it in. Reggie Miller with Shaw on him. Finds McKee, who swings it to Perkins. Inside the Trojan, who flies to the hoop for the slam.
What a great pass, though, by Perkins. He ball faked and got Horry chasing him. Then the one little extra pass, and Shaq could not get to Crozier. That was nice.
Jackson with that little floating jumper that rattles out. The rebound to McKee, who follows it in.
Great first quarter here by Indiana. They've got on the boards, they've executed, they've hit their shots. They lead by 10, a positive sign here for Pacer fans.
Kobe Bryant, that's his second basket. He's 2 for 5 now.
Under control, his feet were balanced underneath him, got his shoulders square. That's what he's going to have to do right now as he works himself back into the game.
Travis Best.
And a great sign. When Travis Best goes quickly, he's a much better player. Derek Fisher's got him over-dribbling in many occasions in this series. That was a quick hitting play. Nice finish by Best.
O'Neal out of the double to Fisher. They swing it to Fox. Fisher's got it back. And he connects from the head of the key.
These two guys have been really playing well against each other. Bob, you said it the other day. He had 10 points and 10 assists in Game 3. Had to leave for defensive purposes when Mark Jackson came in late in the game. But he's been great against Travis Best.
Best trying to break him down, throws up the floater, and gets the roll. Well, he made 5 of 7 in Game 3 and has hit his first 2 in Game 4.
Now, why could Best get to the basket? Because Shaquille is worried about Sam Perkins.
Fox penetrates, lays it in, and he'll come to the free throw line with a chance for a three-point play. Shaq backing in on Perkins, finding Fisher. Now in the paint to Horry for the turnaround. Robert Horry, who struggled after Game 1 of the Portland series, has been much more effective against the Pacers in the finals.
There's no hesitation in his offensive game right now. When he catches, he's going right up into the action and shooting the basketball. That's what you have to do.
Best penetrates and hits it.
See, they've done that high screen roll 3 times and scored 6 points because Shaq is so concerned about leaving Perkins. That's why that two-man action is so good there.
Nice pass from Bryant to the cutting Fox.
Good ball movement right now by the Lakers. Moving that basketball crisply, not just going through Shaq. You've seen Horry touch it, Fox. They're all involved right now. Good sign for the Lakers.
O'Neal gets him deep, and they can't stop him. You know, it's a measure of his dominance that when he scored 33 in Game 3, relatively speaking, the Pacers felt they'd contained him. But the rebound to McKee, and he finds Perkins. McKee again with a good look.
How about Derek McKee tonight looking for a shot? Normally a very reluctant offensive player. But again, offensive rebounds and what they create for your team.
Perkins and McKee out. Smits and Dale Davis back in. Kobe Bryant with the jumper, and LA has now made its last 6 shots from the floor.
You see how much better Kobe's moving. You're seeing more confidence now. He's played a little while. He's trusting that ankle.
Smits looking to go to work again against Shaq to the left hand. He is 5 for 5. Shaq backs into the paint, turns against 2 defenders and slams it down.
See, Smits has got to stay away. He's got 2 fouls. You don't want him to pick up his 3rd right now. He's playing so well, so that's a good way to stay away from that foul because this is what he can do right there.
Both McKee and Davis were up there to follow it home, and the basket is credited to Dale Davis. Smits had it knocked away, and Kobe Bryant takes it for LA. Kobe with a great feed to O'Neal. A little wraparound backhand flip.
Well, they talked about what do you miss when Kobe's out? That's what you miss. He's the only guy on the team that can create opportunities like that in the open floor. Not only that, but with his defense, has going to be called for the foul here on Jalen Rose. But the rust is starting to come off his game. This is a timing play, and it's also a confidence play that when you've got a sprained ankle, you can leave your feet in traffic and find your partner, Shaquille O'Neal, underneath the basket. That's just a great wraparound pass and a powerful finish.
The visiting team never broke through in that series. So even 3 wins here in games 3, 4, and 5 might not be enough for the Pacers. O'Neal, just before the shot clock would have expired, hits the jumper.
He has really perfected that little shot, that little power dribble going up, right arm close to the basket and just sort of squirting the ball over the defender.
Austin Crozier drives baseline, flips up a hook after slipping by O'Neal.
Now that's a great move, number one. Number two, Shaq has to stay away from his 4th foul, so he sort of back off that play, and Crozier was able to finish it.
Shaq with a jump hook of his own. He doesn't get the roll. Horry is there to try and follow it. They'll count it plus the foul.
Wow, Shaquille O'Neal is very, very lucky here. This could have been his 4th foul over the back. Instead, they're going to give a 3-point play opportunity to the Lakers. But watch Shaquille here as he misses this shot. He goes over the top right there. That ball is knocked loose to Horry for a 3-point play. And you know what? Phil Jackson says, you know what? I better get Shaq out here. I am very lucky. That should have been Shaq's 4th foul. So Sally's going to come in here to finish this half.
Crozier again into the traffic, and again he scores.
Well, he's got a really knack to score around that basket. He's not a big power forward, but he's quick, and he's crafty in there. He moves that ball around and takes it away from the defensive player.
Derek Fisher. Nice hoop by Fisher. 4 seconds to shoot. Rose leans in, and it comes up short. Here's Kobe Bryant with it. He scored 6 points and had 4 assists in the first half. He gives it up to Harper. Harper lost it on his way to the hoop. Kind of a juggling attempt at a shot. And it's into the hands of Jalen Rose. He pulls up and drills the jumper.
I think what you're seeing immediately is Jalen Rose has got to get himself involved. Now, Rick Smits played very well. He had 10 points. Reggie Miller 13, but Jalen Rose only 6.
Bryant accelerating to the baseline and hitting the jumper.
It's an amazing gamble by Phil Jackson to leave Kobe out there. Now, a lot of it might be, too, he's afraid that if he sits down there, he's just come out of halftime, and he sits a long time, maybe he'll really stiffen up.
Spits into the lane, lofts it high over Shaq, gets it back, and puts it in.
This is the most aggressive I've seen him, but I think a lot of it is the fact that he got some baskets to go down early, so his confidence is very high right now.
We played 2 minutes of the second half. Indiana by 5. Kobe Bryant cuts it to 3.
See, Kobe is starting to get back into the flow. Bob, I don't care how good you are. When you take time off with an injury, you don't get a chance to play. When you come back, you're going to be rusty.
Looking for Bryant, but Jackson has pushed him far from the basket. Doesn't take him long to get into the lane and hangs in the air with another beauty.
Well, it's a bad sign for the Pacers. Now, Kobe picks up his 4th foul, and it almost excites him. He's like, now going to the basket, something we didn't see in that first half. See, Mark Jackson's got to be very careful he doesn't get him out of sync here trying to go at Kobe.
That worked like a perfect pass. It was a wild shot over the outstretched arm of Shaq, but Dale Davis was there to receive it and stuff it back home. Here's Harper all the way to the rack.
Mark Jackson just ran right beside him, and Harper just takes the ball and lays it in the basket. Larry Bird could not be happy with that.
Rice for the lead, and L.A. has it. Deals out to Harper, and then Kobe again. To the baseline, up to the hoop. Doesn't get the roll, and it bounces to Rose. Smits against A.C. Green. Big height advantage, and he immediately goes to the hook.
That's when Indiana's good, when they play early offense. Now, Bob, one of the things to watch here, Mark Jackson, anytime he's been switched up on Kobe, he's beating them off the dribble. They're going to have to defend him better than that.
And A.C. Green puts the Lakers in front, and he'll be coming to the free throw line. And the look of disgust on Larry Bird's face across the way speaks volumes. We played more than half the period. Shaquille O'Neal is scoreless in the third quarter for the Lakers, but they've taken the lead. Not for long, as the hook by Smits puts the Pacers in front. He had a 20-point game against the Knicks and 25 against Philadelphia earlier in the playoffs. This is the first time he's done much of anything in the finals. He's got 16, and he's got the fans on their feet at the Fieldhouse. O'Neal quiets the crowd.
See, what's happening, though, is if A.C. Green is going to play Rick Smits, then they have to go to him, and he's got to be able to deliver.
Davis with the fake, brings it back out to Jackson. 5 seconds to shoot. Jalen Rose. Jackson open. Big three, and he hits it.
Remember I told you that Kobe's helping out, so Mark Jackson is going to have that shot. He's just got to get his rhythm and knock it down. That's about the 3rd one he's had this quarter.
Riding a seesaw, and now it's Indiana's turn to lead. ties it.
How about that? Ron Harper with the left hand switches in the lane and uses the glass.
Jalen Rose uses the right hand and the glass. His offhand. And Indiana reclaims the lead at 70-68. Here's Kobe Bryant against Reggie Miller. Kobe, left hand, banked it too hard. Shaquille O'Neal is there. The automatic finish once he got it that deep, plus the foul.
Your instincts tell you when the ball goes up to go to the boards.
Here's Kobe driving past Miller.
That was quick, and that was powerful with a finish, and you're seeing Kobe work himself into the game. And now the Lakers lead by 3. It's vital here that the Pacers come down and get something positive.
Even though it's only 3, it's the Lakers' biggest lead of the night. Miller against Shaw. Almost lost it, got it back, and cuts it to 1.
Reggie's so good at driving, feeling the contact, and spinning, and he has the medium-range game, so when Shaq is waiting for him, he can pull up and shoot it.
Glenn Rice, catch and shoot. Shaq volleyballs it to keep it alive, and then powers it down.
You just can't keep him off the boards. You think you've got great defensive position, and he just overpowers you.
Kobe spinning into the paint. Another tough hoop.
That's the play they like to run. Kobe, little one-on-one, they call it the open set, and they open it up with Shaquille O'Neal on the bench. There's no post player in there.
Rick Fox.
That was a set play to get 2 for 1, and Rick Fox hits the 3. Great execution, the last 2 possessions by the Lakers.
And now Robert Morey's jumper is good.
He has been so aggressive. He had 10 points in the first half on 3 of 6 shooting. More importantly, he stepped in, he's taken charges, he's had a couple steals. Notice Mark Jackson here starting the 4th, not Travis Best.
Miller trying to shake Shaw, and does.
There's his first field goal of the series in the 4th quarter. Will this be a jump start for his team? And Kobe Bryant is in the game to defend him, so Phil Jackson feels him getting ready to go to Reggie, and he puts Kobe Bryant on him for the first time in the game.
Jalen Rose. Indiana back in front by 1.
And Jalen Rose says, thank you. I've missed about 4 of those shots tonight. I've got it exactly where I wanted it, and I just haven't finished.
Best got it to Miller, and Reggie drills the three-pointer that gives the Pacers the lead by 2.
And the littlest man on the floor makes the biggest play. Travis Best with the offensive rebound. Maybe their toughest guy other than Dale Davis.
Deals it out to Rose. Touch pass to the side. Big smooth, Sam Perkins. Happy 39th.
Reggie Miller is putting his stamp on this quarter.
You know, after watching that foul by Best, we've said it before, but it really is a good thing that Shaquille O'Neal has a very gentle nature. Otherwise, he'd erupt now and then, and somebody would get hurt real bad.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Here's Shaq into the lane off balance. And this will go against L.A., and it's 5 on O'Neal.
You know, somebody did get hurt real bad right there. Sam Perkins took one in the chest and went down.
With the jump hook off the glass. And the Lakers draw to within 1. Meanwhile, Jackson keeps O'Neal on the floor with nearly 7 minutes remaining, and he's got 5 fouls.
Now, do you come in with Rick Smits and make Shaq play defense? That's a question that Bird's got to think about.
Travis Best turns the corner, pulls up, and banks it in. Kobe Bryant has an answer.
See, he has that little medium-range jump shot. We talk about it being a lost art in the NBA. It's either a 3 and all the way to the basket. He has that pull-up shot.
And the Lakers can take the lead. They do not. Rose rebounds Bryant's miss. Then kicks it away. Shaq is there to scoop it up. Now he has it in the paint. They can't stop him, and they foul him.
He bumps you, and he rocks you back.
Here's Miller. Kobe's on him. 5 seconds to shoot. Reggie with the shake move and the drive. The reverse.
See, Shaq is out on Perkins. That's why Bird has kept him out of there. The lane is wide open, or he couldn't get there soon enough.
O'Neal out of the double to Fisher. Good look at a 3.
Trust your teammates. You're going to get double and triple team. Kick the ball out and trust but they can make big shots. Derek Fisher's playing great ball right now for the Lakers.
Travis Best on the run. He has that knack of arcing it high, and with the 7-1 O'Neal coming out at him, the 5'11 Best had the right trajectory to score with it and tie the game at 95.
And what we're seeing is what we saw in New York series. The longer the series goes, the better he's playing.
O'Neal, he plays well all the time, it seems.
I'm just so impressed, though, how hard Shaq plays and how much he keeps his composure.
30 points now for Shaq. Reggie. Free ball from the corner.
Is there anybody in the league that uses screens better and has a quicker release than Reggie Miller?
Davis leaning on O'Neal, who turns, goes up and misses, but tips in his own miss.
Even though he's 8 for 10 from the foul line tonight, you've got to take your chance and not let him make layups. You still have to make him make free throws, Bob.
8th lead change of the quarter. Shaq with 32 points and 19 rebounds. Miller backs up for 3.
Are you kidding me?
He has said repeatedly, if you want to be a hero, you've got to take hero shots.
Indiana has 5 fouls. The Pacers do not want to foul here and put Kobe on the line.
Kobe fires the jumper and gives LA the lead. 102 to 100 and even 20 for Kobe Bryant coming back off the sprained ankle. Harper got up on Miller. 5 on the shot clock. Reggie fumbled it, throws it up with the left hand. A very difficult shot. He had his rhythm interrupted. And now with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining, the Lakers have the lead in the ball. Deep to Shaq, an immediate wrap-up by Dale Davis. So they'll take their chances with him at the line. That's 5 on Davis. Lakers by 2 with 1:02 on the clock. The rebound is tipped to Best. In this next minute, Indiana has to come through to have any realistic chance at their first NBA championship. Jalen Rose, short. Horry with a big rebound.
I don't know why Dale Davis fouled right there. There's still plenty of time. You're down 2. You take that foul on Robert Horry. If he makes 1, you're down 3. If he makes 2, you're down 4. You don't need to foul there.
1 of 2 for Robert Horry. Timeout Pacers. Travis Best. Miller trying to come off a screen. They find Perkins for 3. And he ties the game! Doug Collins called that big time. Miller all over Bryant. 10 on the shot clock. It's Robert Horry. They look for Shaq and throw it away.
Bill Jackson said to Robert Horry, call a timeout. Why panic? We've got the basketball. You want to get a shot at the basket now. It goes when it looks like Indiana was dead. They've got the ball to win the game.
8 seconds. Travis Best. Shaq out on him. Best with the shot. It's way short. With 2.3 seconds on the clock, the Lakers are going to ask for time. Shaw to trigger it in. They look for Shaq. He makes the catch. He throws up a hook. And we are going to overtime. Robert Horry faked the 3, moved in closer, and gives the Lakers the early lead in overtime.
Very confident shot. Again, Robert Horry playing very, very well. He did split the 2 free throws that would have given him a 4-point lead.
O'Neal driving on Smits. Horry is there to finish it up.
Got to rebound the basketball. When you look out there right now, Smits is not a good rebounder for a big man, nor is Crozier.
Smits against Shaq with a jump hook.
Shaq has got to be very careful. He cannot commit his 6th foul, so Smits has got to take his time. There's no need to be in a hurry. Get the look that you want.
He points for Rick Smits in 18 minutes on the floor. Kobe between two defenders.
Mark Jackson's got to step in there and trap him and force him to kick that ball out to Ron Harper. The two guys that can beat you are Kobe and Shaq.
Rose spinning, looking for Smits. Winds up in Miller's hands, backs up for three. Can you believe that?
The awareness of the shot clock. He looked up, Bob, his eyes went to the target. What a game.
He's got 32. And the Laker lead is 1, but they get it deep to Shaq, and this could be a three-point play.
You see, they're running a little counteraction play here. And Shaquille O'Neal is getting great post position, but Reggie Miller now, watch his eyes. That ball is going to go loose. He looks up at the shot clock, gets behind that three-point line and buries it. But Indiana's going to have to make an adjustment here. Shaquille O'Neal's getting the ball down there because Smits is stepping out on that screen and cannot get back to Shaquille O'Neal. The Pacers have to talk about this defensively.
He doesn't get the three-point play. Smits gets the rebound. Reggie Miller had made just 3 of 15 threes. Coming into this game, he's made 6 of 8 from beyond the arc in Game 4. Rose against Rice. Misses it. Shaw grabs the rebound.
That's a loose ball foul on Shaq. That'll be number 6. What a big play.
That's it. Phil Jackson, hands in his pockets, staring at Steve Javie in seeming disbelief.
Now remember, in Game 2, Kobe gets hurt, only plays 9 minutes. Over the top there as Shaq gets his 6th foul. But Bob, remember, in Game 2, Kobe plays only 9 minutes. Shaq misses 21 free throws, and they win the game. Well, now Shaquille O'Neal has fouled out. 2:33 to go. You're down 3. You have got to find a way to win this game if you're the Pacers.
He throws up the hook. He's got 20 points, and the Pacers are within 1.
Now you know that Kobe's going to take over the game. Be aware of Glenn Rice's three-point shooting, but Kobe is going to try to attack.
Shaking on Miller and hitting a 2-point basket. He was just inside the line. The Laker lead is 3 again.
How about the poise of this young guy? These two guys played one-on-one all summer in L.A. Kobe takes it between his legs. He pulls it back, hits the jumper, and then sort of gives it, take your time. Everything's cool. I'm not going to let us lose this game. The poise of this young guy who would only be a senior in college this year had he went to college. Amazing.
The foul is on John Sally, who up until now has had as his primary contribution guarding Shaq in practice all season. Here he's got to try and stop Smits with Game 4 on the line. And he can't do it.
Question is, can Indiana get a stop? They got to get a stop here and give themselves a chance to take the lead. And Kobe is going to go to work again.
Here he is over Jackson. How good is this kid?
Well, now Mark Jackson is in playing here, and defensively, he is not a good defender. He matched up on Kobe on that play, but just stepping up and shooting huge shots.
Here's Reggie Miller into the lane, missed on the run, and the foul is going to go against the Lakers. Miller goes to grab that talc before shooting free throws.
Kobe Bryant, once again, the ball is going to be in his hands. How much do you miss a guy when you don't have him? You miss him for this right here. Huge jump shots. And then Reggie Miller is going to penetrate. And let's see if the guy's heels are on the little dotted line. They are. That's why it's a block.
Outside that dotted circle, it likely would have been a charge. Again, it's a one-point game. The last 2 baskets made by Kobe Bryant barely missed being three-pointers.
I'd run and get the ball out of his hands. I make somebody else take a shot right now. This guy thinks he's going to hit every shot. We know the Pacers don't like the double team.
Driving now on Reggie. On the run. Smits comes over for the block. .11 on the shot clock.
See, Brian Shaw has been cold the last few games. Somebody else has got to take a shot other than Rice or Kobe.
Rice, air ball, but into the hands of Shaw, worked like a perfect pass.
Got to rebound the basketball. About 45 seconds to go. Now you're down 3.
Miller hands it inside to Crozier. 14 on the shot clock as the ball was knocked away.
Now they love to run a play here to get Reggie a 3, stepping out right off of Rick Smith's screen. Let's see if they can free him up.
Looking for him, finding him, but Shaw gets up on it. Now Crozier screens. Horry on the switch. It's in Crozier's hands. He drives the lane, gives it to Smits, who's belted by Rice. Gets the bounce.
Right now, there's 28.1. If he makes it, only a 4-second differential.
As many good three-point shooters as the Pacers have, they might elect to foul. Maybe the Lakers make only one of 2, and even if they make them both, you've got guys who can tie the game. Shaw on the dribble. Shot clock at 12.
So you don't want to foul now because you got one to give. They won't shoot free throws.
Shaw running one-hander. Followed in by Kobe Bryant.
Again, offensive rebounds. Second shots in a row. You go to the basket. Brian Shaw, tough shot. And who is there? Kobe Bryant over the shoulder for the follow-up. It was first Brian Shaw with an offensive rebound. This time, Kobe Bryant. Shaquille O'Neal is on the bench. He loves it. The Lakers up 3. 5.9 seconds to go in the game.
Shaq fouled out with 2.5 left, and the Lakers up by 3. Even without him, they played the Pacers even. They still lead by 3. 5.9 seconds. Jackson looking to throw it in. There's contact with Fox climbing all over Jalen Rose.
Now that is big because no time goes off. Let's see what we got here now. That's going to be... I think that's going to be one shot and the ball. Watch here now. Rick Fox with the foul. So with the ball not being inbounded, anybody's going to be able to shoot it. So Reggie's going to shoot it. It'll be one shot and the ball. What a mental mistake here by the Lakers. Now, if he makes his free throw, a 2 ties it, a 3 beats you.
That's almost automatic. Reggie now with 35 points. And the Pacers ask for time because obviously what they're looking for now is much different than only a moment ago. Mark Jackson, 4 seconds. Reggie off the screen for 3. The Lakers have a 3-1 lead. That could have won it. This is the last game of a great season at the Fieldhouse. The question is it the last game of the season for the Pacers? Kobe Bryant's exploits in overtime, combined with the overall dominance of Shaquille O'Neal, has pushed Indiana to the brink. And for players like Reggie Miller and Rick Smits and Mark Jackson, who waited more than a decade in the NBA to make an appearance on the grand stage of the NBA's finals, they do not want it to end tonight, not on their home floor. But it will, unless the Pacers stage the greatest comeback in the history of the finals. No team has ever come back down 3-1 in the finals to win the title. And to do it, they'd have to win not only tonight with all these folks behind them, but on the road in games 6 and 7 in Los Angeles. Mark Jackson with the ball might have to play a longer stretch than usual tonight if Travis Best's effectiveness is limited by the shoulder injury. Reggie Miller with the Pacers' first shot.
Good execution by the Pacers. A little back screen by Reggie. Cops the ball. A little point-blank shot.
Here's Smits, who shot 11 for 14 in Game 4. Looking to go to work on Shaq. And tips in his own miss. He had 24 points in Game 4 after 22 combined in the first 3 games.
Well, his game is based completely on confidence. Bob, we saw that in Game 4. He had his first 5 shots. He was terrific the rest of the night. It's a good start for him.
Reggie for 3.
Game 1 where he was 1 of 16. He has been brilliant.
Jackson over to help Smits with O'Neal, leaving Harper open, and Harper hits the uncontested three.
Talk about a guy who's played well. He's shooting 53% in the finals, averaging in double figures, and has really picked up the slack, especially in the game that Kobe missed with injury.
Smits over Shaq. Picking up where he left off. That shooting touch is there for him.
That's why it's so important for the Pacers to get him going early. When he plays well early, it just picks up all phases of his game.
Now Shaq, 7 on the shot clock. Harper to the baseline, and he gets the bounce.
You can see Rick Smith just not quick enough to move his feet. Harper drives baseline, one more slide, and he gets there. Couldn't get there, and Harper with the layup.
That was almost too tempting for Davis. Perhaps not the shot Indiana wanted after all. Bryant. Count the basket plus the foul. AC Green off the Bryant assist.
How about the unselfishness of Kobe Bryant? He had a wide open 10-foot jump shot there, Bob. He wouldn't have passed that shot up last year.
Out of the corner, Jalen Rose for three.
Remember now, going into game 4, the Pacers had not shot the three-point shot well. They hit 10 the other night in the game. That is their strength. If they shoot it well from beyond the three, get to the free throw line, usually they're in every game and have a chance to win.
Kobe over Davis. Shaq up in a crowd. Counted +1.
Again, the offensive rebounding, and you see the Indiana Pacers coaching staff, they know they cannot stop them defensively and then allow them to get a second shot.
Cross court to Davis. His jump shot is good.
I'm not sure that's the way Larry Bird drew that up. Starts out with Miller, heads up. Perkins penetrating to Dale Davis for a jumper.
Jackson with a very difficult shot, but Davis with the finish.
Well, that's where he's at his best. Around the basket where he can use that muscle, that strength, rebound the ball, and go up with power.
Kobe Bryant. Shaq.
Again, offensive rebounding. We talk about the Lakers, one of the best in the NBA at getting second shots.
O'Neal hurrying back on defense, makes the interception. But it's taken away from him by Jalen Rose. Reggie pumps up a three. Hit it plus the foul. Chance for a 4-point play.
Shaquille O'Neal had the ball palmed in one hand. It looked like he started to pass it, and the ball, he saw the defender step in. He tried to pull it back, and he couldn't.
Bryant over Jalen Rose. You just can't stop that shot. Rose is right up on him.
Well, Bob, the importance of being able to shoot the ball. When you're that lightning quick and create a shot, you've got to get up and play a guy. Now that gives him freedom to beat you off the dribble.
Rose off the screen. Answers at the other end.
Great execution right now by Indiana. They're in a real flow, but more importantly, they've taken advantage of some Laker mistakes to get some easy points.
In hockey terms, his plus-minus has been excellent in the playoffs and especially in the finals. Shaq with the short jumper.
Well, you know, in fairness, Robert Horry is the better player. He should be the starter, but Phil likes to buy some minutes with AC Green, about the first 7 of the first and the first 7 of the third, but there's no question Horry's the better player. Sometimes that's why they get off the slow start.
Sam Perkins hits another three.
I'll tell you, when they radar in on that three, they are a fun team to watch play.
O'Neal begging Davis to shoot, and he accommodates him.
That's almost the same spot that he hit his other jump shot. Everybody's shooting the ball well. Indiana very relaxed. LA starting out very tight here to start the game.
Indiana by 12. Horry on the drive. A tough hoop. He had 17 points and 6 rebounds in Game 4, including the first 2 LA baskets in overtime.
Well, you see, he's more aggressive offensively. Usually he's a very reluctant scorer. He's coming in and attacking as soon as he gets off that bench.
Rose lost it. Bryant has it. Jackson is back. Kobe spins on him and scores.
He just measured it, just took his time, didn't try to jump over him, got the ball right where he wanted, spun, and then he got a nice angle to use the glass.
An 8-point difference now. Jalen Rose. The Pacers have tried 5 3-pointers, and they've made them all. I have a bold prediction. If they continue to shoot threes at that clip, we're going back to L.A. Shaq.
And the Lakers, what they're saying is, you know, it's almost very similar to games 3 and 4 against Portland. Take the big surge, just trying to hang around and try to wear the Pacers down as the game goes on. Shaq tries to get deeper and deeper post position the longer the game goes.
Nice pass from Rose to Miller.
That was with the right hand, too. Normally, Jalen Rose does not dribble the ball or pass with the right hand. Strictly a lefty. That was a great pass.
And misses the jump shot. Shaq over the back of Perkins to tip it to himself, and now it's Horry for 3.
Those offensive rebounds. I know that Dick Carter, Larry Bird, Rick Carlisle, the staff, one of the things they wrote on the board before the game is we gave up 3 offensive rebounds in overtime that killed us. The Lakers are staying in the game here early with their rebounding.
They had the home crowd behind them. Shaq fouled out midway through overtime, and they still lost. Rose, good look at a 3. 6 for 6.
Now, Phil Jackson cannot be happy about the Laker defense right now. Now, you got to give Indiana credit. They're really executing here to start the game, but they're getting wide open shots, Bob, not even a hand in their face.
Horry on the drive. And even though the difference is still the same, 9 points, as when Horry replaced Green, Horry has been effective. Jackson backing in against Bryant. Last second, Harper from near midcourt. And an impressive first quarter. A 39-point first quarter. Perkins thought about it, gives it up to Jalen Rose. Now he has it back. Okay, you want me to, I will, but Shaq comes out and gets a piece of it. Now they sling it ahead to O'Neal, and look out.
How about that, Bob? How about he jumped out and blocked the shot, ran the floor, caught it like a tight end, and finished it on the run. And this guy's the most dominant player. That was a great, agile play by Shaq.
Rose against Bryant this time, challenging him and scoring.
And you can immediately see what happened there when Phil Jackson saw they were going to go to Rose inside. He moves Kobe Bryant defensively against him. Rose said, I'm not going to let that bother me. Backed him right down, shot right over the top of Kobe.
Rose again against Kobe Bryant, this time a little baby hook.
We saw that so much in the Portland series. Mike Dunleavy said, we're going to go at Kobe Bryant. We're going to make him defend. We're going to make him play both ends of the floor, especially if he's going to play heavy minutes. Back-to-back scores by Rose.
And Rose now has 15. Bryant tries to answer and does.
This young guy is so good. I'd say he is using the stage of the NBA Finals here to show everybody what a great player he is.
Rose kicked it away. Perkins picks it up. They've got 6 seconds to shoot. Rose for 3. How about this?
That was good defense. He forced him to use the clock. He shot it about 3 feet behind the three-point line. Jalen Rose having a great second period here, posting up and now shooting the 3.
Glenn Rice. Plus, they fouled him.
Bobby was my teammate, and Julius, we're thinking about you and sending our love, buddy.
I never met a better guy. Here's Best. Travis Best. If the left shoulder is bothering him, it didn't on that shot. The Pacers lead by 13. Miller to the corner. Shaq is there on it. Best at the top of the circle. Travis Best has hit 2 in a row.
Indiana's in a great rhythm right now offensively. And that last timeout, Larry Bird told his team, just play, don't look at the scoreboard.
Fisher, a nearly impossible shot, partially blocked, scooped up by Miller. He's got Rose on his left, gives it up to him, and he slams it home. 20 for Rose, a 17-point lead for the Pacers. Jalen Rose hits the reverse.
See, Larry Bird is a coach, as he was the player. If I'm going, get me the ball. Rose has it going right now, and he's calling his number.
O'Neal. The reason why they don't call him for hanging on the rim there, Sam Perkins was down and underneath, and if he came down, he would have squashed poor Sam like a bug. O'Neal, nice move.
But again, we talk so much about how you close out quarters and halves. Indiana has been so dominant. They don't want to take a little snooze here and allow the Lakers to cut this into about a 10 or so point game going into half. Now, can Rick Smith work himself back into the game? sitting a long time.
Reggie Miller to the left hand to finish it.
Now, Reggie got that move probably from Kobe Bryant when they played together in the summertime. That was a gorgeous one-on-one move. We don't see that much from Reggie.
Here is O'Neal. And it rolls home for him. Shaq has scored 16 in this first half, but his team still trails by 17. Travis Best leaves it up there for Dale Davis. Nice pass from Best, and Davis with the finish. He scored 8 in the first half.
That's a Mark Jackson play. Look like you're going to shoot it. You just float it up, and actually it's a lob pass.
Now it's Perkins on O'Neal. Shaq, a little hop into the paint, and he cans the jumper.
That's that little pet move of his, little rhythm across the lane, little fading jump shot. The fans very unhappy, felt like that should have been a foul on Shaq, not on Rick Smits.
Here comes Reggie. Fake Shaw off his feet. Good look at the three.
He was so great running away from that basketball. He just set the man up the entire way. It looks like he was going the other side of the floor, pops out and hits the three.
Mark Jackson. Off the glass and in. It circled the rim and then dropped.
Kobe Bryant now, Bob, has taken 37 shots in the last game and a half without getting to the free throw line.
Reggie with the steal. Jackson flips it back in, but into the arms of Rice. Kobe goes right by Smits, blows the layup, but Shaq is there to finish.
Now, Rick Smits did a smart thing there. He didn't reach in and foul and get his fourth. Stay on the floor. You're up 19. Give your team some help here. They're going to need you. They have got to find some emotion to work themselves back in this game. Normally, they do that by going to Kobe and Shaq.
Here is Kobe exploding to the hoop, and get your hand out of the way as he slams that one down.
Well, those are the kind of plays that energize your team. Kobe going right to the basket. But Ahmad said a while ago, they've got to get some stops on the defensive end.
O'Neal, jumper in the lane, short. Harper there on the offensive glass. Brings it back out with a pass to Rice. Shaq posts up. Davis fell down. Smits comes over late. Shaq scores. And the foul on Smits is his fourth.
Bird also told his team there's no pressure on us, just keep playing. Avoid looking at the scoreboard. And finally, I spoke to Jalen Rose. He took a nasty spill. His tailbone and his lower back is bothering him. Said it's going to slow him here in the second half, but he's just going to continue to play because of the situation of the series. Bob?
Here is Jalen Rose, continuing to play well.
Right on time there, Jim. And you know what? When the ball goes in the basket, your tailbone always feels a little bit better than it did when you're missing some open jump shots.
Kobe Bryant leaning in, throwing up a scoop shot that's no good, and AC Green with a nice tip.
Again, the Indiana Pacers, they must defensive rebound. You force a difficult shot by Kobe, and you don't clean up your defensive backboard.
Smits. The jumper is there.
Very aggressive play by Smits. I don't think Shaq is going to contest many of those shots. He just got to get to his spot and go up and shoot it.
Kobe Bryant off the dribble, spins, tries to slice through three defenders, can't do it. Rice has it, 5 seconds to shoot. His double pump is there for him.
And with the left hand, looked like Dale Davis was going to block that shot.
Rice on the team that won the national title in '89. Looking for his first NBA title. AC Green wasn't the first option, but was able to finish that possession.
Well, Larry Bird's going to take a timeout. He does not like what he sees defensively right now.
Rick Smits out to Jalen Rose. Down low to Dale Davis against AC Green. The bounce to Miller. The swing to Jackson. 2 seconds to shoot. Jackson beats the shot clock and hits.
What a great play that time. Mark Jackson understanding the clock winding down. That ball went in the basket just as the shot clock went off.
Reggie now driving on Kobe. Get it out of here, says Shaq.
You get a sense that Kobe trying to do a little too much right now. He has a tendency to start trying to get him back in the game. There's the big block by Shaq.
Smits. Got it.
It's a big 6 minutes right now for the Lakers. They're down 17. Are they going to work themselves back into this game? They have got to get this, I think, to about 8, 9, 10 points going in.
Glenn Rice against Jalen Rose. Finds Harper in the corner for three.
Seems like he comes up with those big baskets. They're quiet baskets, but they just chip into that lead just at the right time for the Lakers.
Smits again.
That was a great set play that time. They back screened Shaq and looked like Smits was going to cut to the basket, and he just stepped back. Now he's a 7'4" guy stepping back to shoot a jump shot.
Pacer ball from the side. Rice on Rose, jumper over him.
And these two guys have it on cruise control, Rose and Miller. The rest of the players just feed off of their energy. Right now they feel like they can score at any time regardless of who's guarding them.
Kobe had it knocked away, got it back, looking for Shaq. Lots of Pacers there. O'Neal recovers it and scores.
See how deep Shaq gets out there on the floor. He's not getting in the lane. Now, that's a tough shot, but we saw the other night, they had 66 points in the paint. That was out of the paint. So if you're the Pacers, you have to say, you know what, we defended that pretty well. That's why Shaq's the MVP. He just made a great shot.
Harper to Shaq.
Well, that's Shaq's easiest basket of this period, and it was off the great penetration by Ron Harper as he got in the lane.
Austin Crozier out of the double team to Mark Jackson. Foul line jumper.
He had a double team. They switched it, the Lakers did, when they went down to double team it to help Shaw with Crozier.
In a crowd, left hand no. Crozier with the rebound. Reggie Miller for three. Pacers by 25. And Miller has scored 25.
I don't know if there's anything more beautiful in basketball than when a great shooter gets hot.
O'Neal guarded by Perkins. Jackson there with the help, and Shaq hits the jump hook. He scored 31.
Pacers felt he was going to take the shot. The extra pass is what got the violation.
O'Neal.
I think what Phil Jackson is hoping right now for his team is that somehow they can find a little rhythm to finish this game, something to feel good about as they go home.
Rice, good look at a three, and he hits it.
Well, that's what they want him to do. Out of the double team, spot up and make that three, and Larry Bird does not want to leave Glenn Rice. Again, you don't want to let a guy get some looks in a game like this that will carry over to the next game.
Back up top to Jalen Rose. He goes down the lane by Shaq and lays it in.
Jalen Rose has been terrific from start to finish. Jim Gray had said his tailbone was bothering him a little bit at halftime, but I have not seen any problem in his movement as Shaq swings in there and hits that little jump shot. How long does Phil keep Shaq and Kobe in the game? Now remember, Kobe has had a bad ankle. Shaq has played a lot of minutes. At what point in time does he say, this game is done?
Big smooth, Sam Perkins. It ought to be done now.
But the last thing you want if you're Phil with a 3-2 lead going home is for one of your star players to get hurt at the end of this game.
It looked like a shot that worked like a pass. Kobe to Shaq, but Shaq couldn't hit it either. Crozier.
You know what Phil might be doing? He might be wanting to feel the taste.
John Tabak gets his name in the scorebook. Shaq had 35 points, 11 rebounds, played 42 minutes tonight.
And you know, as much as this might sound crazy, he had 35, but it wasn't the dominating 35. You know, Bob, he had the points, but not the kind of points that crush the spirits of your team.
Here's John Sally, his replacement, and his first 2 points.
Yes, they do miss Antonio Davis, but Crozier and Perkins, it has worked out well. They've given the minutes, and now they're going to try to develop this young guy for the future.
Here's Travis Knight with the jumper. And just about everybody has at least some numbers next to their name in the box score tonight. Here's Chris Mullin. And he hits it. Plus the foul.
And look at him, look at Larry Bird. The coaching staff cheers him. Chris smiles. He knows this could be his last basket here in Conseco Fieldhouse.
A three by Derek Fisher is no good. And now they come to their feet at the Fieldhouse. Earlier they were chanting Larry, Larry.
And now
This is his last game here in Indiana as the Pacers coach.
And now they're saying thank you. Thank you for bouncing back with this kind of effort. This showed a tremendous amount of pride by this Indiana team. They fought from start to finish. It's a big win for them in their franchise.
The pride of the team, the passion of its fans. California, here they come. The Staples Center in downtown LA, where the Lakers won the first 2 games of this series and need to win but one of the next 2 in order to be NBA champs for the first time since 1988. Reggie Miller was his usual sharp-shooting self in Indianapolis, but in the quiet moments before Game 6, he and his teammates are wondering if that magic can transport itself to the Staples Center, where they've had trouble shooting every visit this season. They've lost 3 games here to the Lakers, and Mark Jackson's team even dropped its only meeting with the Clippers in this building. 0-4 in LA, where tonight the Lakers hope to wrap it up and not have to face the pressure of a Game 7. Dale Davis on Shaq. Jackson to help. The jumper is off, but AC Green follows it in.
Offensive rebounds. It's exactly what happens. You've got to block out, especially if you double-team Shaq, and you don't want to give AC Green easy scores.
Dale Davis backing in on AC Green. His turnaround ties it at 2.
Well, Dale Davis got off to a nice start in Game 5, hit a couple jump shots, 15, 17-footers. That's more his game, power game.
Harper to throw it in. Rice, a quick catch and shoot. And he hits the 3. He's now 10 of 17 from beyond the arc in this series.
And you can see Kobe Bryant really up the floor applying defensive pressure, trying to disrupt the rhythm of the Pacers on offense.
Jalen Rose got it.
And a big sigh of relief just went through Conseco Fieldhouse. I know there's a lot of fans back there, and they're concerned, would we be able to make shots tonight? Well, that's a big, big sign for them for Rose to bury that jumper.
Here's Kobe Bryant forcing a shot, but it winds up like a perfect pass as Shaq slams it down.
So 4 of their 7 points here off second shot scores.
Reggie into the lane with the floater.
Nice execution. He curled off of the screen set by Shaquille O'Neal's man, and Shaq does not step up. He's got to step up there, force Reggie to be a passer.
Bryant against Reggie Miller. Cans the jumper.
You know that Kobe Bryant's going to bounce back off. He's not going to have a 4 for 20 tonight. The big thing is he doesn't get himself too excited too early in the game.
Smith screens for Miller. His baseline jumper won't go. Dale Davis is there. AC Green on the drive. Can't finish it. Dale Davis from Mark Jackson. The fake on Shaq and the stuff.
Now this is a great start by Indiana. They're in a very good rhythm. Dale Davis has got 6 quick points.
After the timeout, the Lakers inbound. O'Neal in the lane, hits the hook.
That's great post position. When he gets it that deep, there's nothing you can do about it. Dale Davis just does not have the size to bother him. He does have the strength. It just doesn't have the size.
He lobs it underneath, but it's broken up, and Rice has it for LA. Ron Harper.
LA's a team that picks and chooses when they want to run. They don't want to get the tempo too high. They know that plays into Indiana and their ability to shoot, and then they forget about Shaq inside, so they'll pick and choose their spots.
Smiths.
That's all he has to do is just take his time. That was a very good entry pass away from the defense, so when Smiths caught it, he was in a nice rhythm to just turn and shoot the basketball.
Smiths in the paint with the jumper. Rice lost it to Davis, who puts it down emphatically.
Who is very active on those boards. See, Shaq came over that time just to help just enough to where it freed Dale Davis up to go to the offensive boards. Now, Bob, we've scored, 29 points in the game, and half of them have been scored on second chance points. 10 by the Lakers, 4 by Indiana. It's exactly what we talked about. Tight shooting, extra shots, give you second chance points.
O'Neal got it deep, but couldn't finish it. Jalen Rose driving on Bryant. Switch to the right hand.
Well, Indiana just playing with such great confidence. Larry Bird has to be very excited right now. They have taken that confidence from Indiana.
Lakers inbound after the foul. Only 5 on the shot clock. Rice glancing up at it. He lets it go and hits.
When that clock is winding down, Jalen Rose has got to make him dribble the basketball. He's a catch-and-shoot player. You got to make him put it on the floor.
Knocked away from Kobe by Reggie Miller. Now it's a foot race, and Reggie wins it.
The last thing you want to do is give Reggie Miller easy baskets here when he has struggled all year to make shots. Layups and free throws get shooters going.
Robert Horry on the floor for the first time. That's him with the basketball for L.A. Swinging it to Kobe for 3.
That's excellent ball movement out of the double team. Now remember, Robert Horry, when he comes in the game, looks to give them more offense than AC Green. He's also a good shot blocker.
The Lakers are 3 of 5 on three-pointers so far. That's Pacer-like. Here's Reggie. His 3. That's Reggie-like.
Well, when you give a guy layups, that's what I talked about before, he gets very, very confident. And Reggie Miller almost stepped out of bounds here, Bob. He was right in front of us. And when he took that step back, he was very close to being out of bounds.
When he's got it going, he could hit it from about row 3 if they'd let him. O'Neal, double teamed, scores anyway. Smith's out, Perkins in for the Pacers. Inside a minute to play in the first. Kobe Bryant showed Reggie Miller a little bit of everything and then drilled the jumper. Perkins to trigger it in. Jackson turns, fires, and hits! If you're the sort who believes in omens, mark that one down.
You see, nobody's guarding the basketball, and they just sort of quit on the play. Kobe allows them to catch it. And as I said before, you can catch and shoot with .6. You have to make the guy work to get that shot off. Mark Jackson very happy as he goes in, but we wondered what kind of shooting Indiana would come out with. They're 11 for 22, 50%. The Lakers shooting only 39%. More importantly, Kobe and Shaq are a combined 6 of 17.
Reggie trying to shake Brian Shaw and hits the running one-hander.
He loves those little floaters. We saw one in the first half where he got in the lane, the little painted area in the curl. That time, the little running one-footer. Lakers got to establish Shaq inside, and somebody's going to have to start hitting some jump shots for them.
Will it be Robert Horry? No, he gives it up to O'Neal. He went for .1 rather than .2, establishing Shaq inside. They'll allow the perimeter game next time, maybe. Here's Mark Jackson trying to slide inside, but Bryant cut him off. McKee, good look at a 3. Derek McKee.
I think that's a good move, though. You've got it going right now with Mark Jackson. Stay with what's working.
O'Neal hits the hook. He's got 10. Left alone, doesn't take the 3. Tries to shoot one on the run, partially blocked and grabbed by Crozier.
They ran away from a good shot and made it tough.
Crozier, he wants it. He's got it.
He makes 2 free throws, so what happens? You feel very comfortable. You come down and you shoot the 3. Right now, the Pacers playing with tremendous confidence.
O'Neal.
That'll quiet you. They're going to call a technical foul on Shaquille O'Neal after the play. He really slammed that ball down hard, and then afterwards he gave Crozier a shove.
Here's Best with Fisher up on him. Deals to Perkins for 3. Sam Perkins.
And you have a big man that can shoot, penetrator like Travis Best. You know what's going to happen. Shaq's going to help out, and when he does, Perkins steps in there and knocks that 3 down.
Indiana by 10. Rick Fox fakes the 3. They work it to the side for Fisher. He'll pump up a 3-pointer and hit it.
Well, the Lakers needed that. A great ball movement that time. You can see the Pacers really getting back in the lap of Shaquille O'Neal. As I said before, Bob, somebody's got to make some jump shots.
Jalen Rose on the drive. Off balance. Missed it badly. Follows his own shot.
So Jalen Rose is very concerned he was going to pick up his 3rd foul there on the offensive foul, so he went away from the contact. And then again, somebody from Indiana kept that ball alive, and Rose gets the easy one.
Kobe Bryant back in. Look at Perkins open for 3. It's almost automatic.
But again, they go to that high screen roll with Best and Shaquille O'Neal defensively. And when he helps on Best, Sam Perkins just rolls out and shoots the jump shot.
Indiana by 12. O'Neal cuts into it a bit. He scored 14. Pacers couldn't practice at Staples Center. They had to go out to the Lakers training center at El Segundo. Larry Bird was upset about that because he wanted additional practice against this shooting background. That shot is rejected. Here comes Fisher, the lob to Shaq, gathers it in and scores.
Now how good is that? That's the big man running the floor. Fisher realizes just keep it in the building and Shaq will catch it.
Now O'Neal's got him on a switch. Davis takes it down the middle and finds Crozier.
See, Dale Davis can do that. Larry Bird has said many times he likes him catching that ball, one power dribble and making a play. That was a nice play that time by Davis.
The lead back to 8. Robert Horry to Shaq and it's 6 again. 18 points for O'Neal.
Well, you can see his energy. He's waving to the crowd. Let's go. He's trying to uplift his team.
Rose over Horry.
He's such a tough cover because he can shoot the ball. He's got a quick step. He can get inside. He can shoot free throws, playing magnificent basketball.
Jalen Rose curls into the lane, and even though Shaq confronted him, he scores.
You can see what's happened, though. They're trying to get Shaq involved, making him come out and play. When you curl in that lane, force him to step up.
Gets it out to Rice. The fake and the jumper is good. It's a two-pointer.
They need Glenn Rice to get going here. Right now, Indiana's sending 2-3 guys at Shaq. They're going to have to make some jump shots, Bob. Now, here's where Mark Jackson has to use some poise. They got to go to either Jalen Rose or Reggie Miller. Those are their 2 guys.
It'll be Miller on the move. Outside to Crozier. Corner 3. Got it.
This guy is playing unbelievably great basketball.
Kobe Bryant took it away from Mark Jackson. Now Jackson's alone with him, and Kobe can't score. Ball knocked away, and O'Neal makes sure.
Kobe's very upset. He feels like he's getting hit as he goes to the basket and cannot get to the free throw line. Big turnover there for Indiana. A Lakers score here would be huge going in at halftime.
Especially if it's a 3, which it is by Kobe Bryant. And even though the Pacers did next to everything right in the first half, with a late spurt, the Lakers trail by only 3.
Can the Lakers keep up with the momentum that they finished the half with? It's very important now for the Indiana Pacers. They've got to set their half-court defense right now.
Kobe slithers through and brings the Lakers to within 1.
Well, he did not have a good shooting first half. He was very aggressive. He's now 5 of 13 from the floor. Shaq 10 of 19. So those 2 guys have already combined for 35 of the 55 points.
Jalen Rose. And the Pacers get a bit of breathing room. Phil Jackson was talking about Kobe Bryant and the early comparisons of Kobe to Michael Jordan at halftime. Perhaps you saw the piece as Jackson gets through and scores. One big difference, according to Jackson, though, is that Kobe, for all his gifts, does not have the outsized hands of a Michael Jordan or a Julius Erving.
Well, interesting. He's taken the first 3 shots of the third quarter for the Lakers. Shaq has not touched the ball.
Jalen Rose finds Dale Davis.
Good start here for Indiana, and Phil Jackson cannot like this. This is exactly the way the game started for the Lakers. They dug themselves a hole. Like to see a little Laker defense right now. The defense right now for the Lakers, not what they have had during the course of the season, and the Pacers are really finding their way. Now, when you have to struggle, what do? You go into Shaquille O'Neal. Remember, Kobe had taken the first 3 shots of the third period. Phil took a timeout and said, look, let's go inside to Shaquille, and he scores. Well, mismatch here, Davis on Kobe.
Finally, it's Reggie, wide open.
See what happens with the Pacers. When they find a mismatch, there was a double team. You get in the rotation. They ran at Rick Smith, and who did they leave open? Reggie Miller.
O'Neal. How about the catch?
And a great pass by Ron Harper. He threw it away from the defender so that all that Shaquille had to do was catch it and lay it in the basket. That was a great play by both guys.
But he had to lay it in off his right shoulder with his back to the basket. Miller again. Good again.
They do such a good job of screening, Bob. If you try to come up through the middle of the the screen. They slide up and let Reggie just fade down to the corner. He uses those screens beautifully.
Ron Harper sliding through. Dale Davis got a piece of it, but the basket will count. Goaltending.
Will make a right occasionally, but Reggie Miller steps back. But on the whole, you have to have good form if you're going to be a consistent free throw shooter, and Shaq just does not have that right now.
Glenn Rice, tough shot. He hit it.
I think he can do more of that. He's a good low post player. He's got 11 points in the game on only 5 shots.
Dale Davis a bit outside his range, but he drills it.
Yeah, but see, he's shooting the ball well. He got inside, Bob. That's his 6th field goal in the game already on only 7 shots. So you don't expect that kind of offense. The Lakers can't be pleased when giving him 13 points.
Kobe Bryant got into the paint and finished. He has 16. Kobe Bryant. Out to Harper. Now AC Green from the baseline.
So when you're going to double team, you're going to have to force somebody to make some shots. AC Green with a big one there.
4 minutes left in the third. Rice for 3. He continues to sizzle from downtown. And this is a 1-point game.
So Bob, I think that right now the Pacers are living with a lot of outside jump shots. They've got to catch and dribble, penetrate. The shot will be there for them.
Jalen Rose. That was from the outside, but they'll take it if it works. Dale Davis out to Jackson, long 3. Well, quite a turn of events.
We have to remember that sequence now. They had a chance to go up. Kobe missed a shot, 5 points. He misses 2 free throws. Rice, that's a big swing.
Harper, what a tough hoop that was.
He's got 8 assists for the game, 5 in this quarter. So Ron Harper doing the little things that we've always seen from him. More importantly, guarding Reggie Miller right now, trying to slow him up.
Dale Davis with a great pass to Reggie Miller, who finishes it with a twisting bank shot, and they tack on the foul.
I watched that whole sequence. Reggie Miller never stopped moving off the screen.
Kobe Bryant, double team, looking for help, forces up the fadeaway, and makes it. My gosh.
What a shot. Not only did he lose control of the ball, he was actually trapped there.
I think the last time someone said "my gosh" on television, it was Arthur Godfrey. Mark Jackson can't quite hit it. Spilled off the lip of the rim into the hands of Kobe Bryant. Kobe into traffic, hands it to O'Neal. Count the basket plus the foul.
What the Lakers are able to do with Kobe Bryant, he is their point guard.
Jalen Rose with a turnaround. And he hits it with 0.4 of a second remaining.
Bob, Indiana has answered every challenge that Lakers have made.
Robert Horry looking for O'Neal. Brings it outside to Fisher for 3.
Remember Portland Game 7. Fisher hits a big one. Shaw hits 3 big threes in that period. They're going to need other guys to step up to make some shots tonight.
O'Neal spinning and scoring +1.
I thought he was going to shoot the ball. He palmed it. He palmed it and then got the foul and shot it.
Kobe hands it inside to O'Neal, and he will have another chance to tie the game.
The Pacers are going to have to get Kobe Bryant under control. At halftime, Phil Jackson wanted him penetrating. Well, he's doing that right now.
Horry guarding Rose. Here's Crozier out of the corner for 3.
What about the confidence this guy's playing with? Shaq gets caught on a switch, and what's he do? He runs as far away from as he can, spots up to the 3-point line. Pacers back up by 4. Reggie's getting ready to check back in.
Crozier has scored 13. Horry tries to answer, and does!
1 for 12 from the 3-point line going into tonight's game. Almost the same shot he hit against Portland late in that game when they needed it in Game 7.
Jalen Rose curls in. He's stripped. Shaw's got it. It's a 2-on-1 break. Kobe Bryant flips it to Shaq, who is belted, and the shot goes down. So is Shaq, and he's clutching his left knee. He seems to be saying, just give me a second.
And he looked like he just fell hard to his knee. And the collective breath of Los Angeles takes a deep sigh of relief as Shaq gets up. You see he goes down. Bob, this guy works so hard.
Rick Fox, Miller guarding him. He pumps up a three. And Larry Bird immediately says, let's talk it over.
How often have we seen this from the Lakers? Guys that you don't expect to make shots. We've seen Fisher. We've seen Horry. Now we see Fox. And the Lakers have finally taken the lead.
Indiana playing from behind for the first time since the first quarter. Reggie, good look at a three. Overshot it badly, but Davis picks it up. Fakes Shaq off his feet and scores.
Well, he stuck with that one. Reggie had a wide open three, but Dale Davis, a big second shot opportunity.
Kobe Bryant gives it up to Fox. Cross court Horry out of the corner for three.
It's amazing. The Lakers have not shot the ball well from the three-point line all season long. 4 3-pointers. You've had Fox with 1, Horry with 2, and Fisher. That's 12 points in a critical game to give you a 5-point lead.
Kobe Bryant off balance, and Shaquille O'Neal is there. And almost 7 minutes remain.
Well, Bob, they're the best three-point shooting team in the league. They're 2 3-pointers away from being in the lead right now.
Lakers have outscored them, though, 20-10 in this fourth quarter. Brian Shaw, wild shot, looks like a pass, and I'm pretty sure he knew that.
Rick Smith has got to stop going for those shot blocks. He's not a shot blocker. He's got to stay with Shaquille O'Neal.
I think that was an intentional ricochet pass. Rick Fox committed the foul.
Sam Perkins is going to space the floor a little bit better than Rick Smith. But he's going to Rick Smith maybe to give him some offense. The problem is Rick Smith is not a good defender. He can't move his feet. He has got to do a better job right now if he's going to be on the floor because they're not even looking for him to shoot the ball.
Here's Horry again. Finally missed from that spot. But it pops into Bryant's hands. He goes up in traffic. And finally there's a whistle.
Kobe is electric right now. See, he's doing a lot what Michael used to do in Chicago. Play that triangle for 3 quarters, and then that fourth quarter say, you know what, I'm going to break it here, and I'm going to make some things happen. That's what he's done. It's working, and the Lakers are leading.
Exactly 6 minutes remaining. Indiana now down by 7. Jalen Rose is fouled. The Lakers have actually done them a favor because after scoring at their end, the Lakers the last several sequences have quickly stopped the clock by fouling. Robert Horry on the move. Gives it up to Harper with the left hand, nowhere near. Crozier rebounds. Dale Davis slips by Glenn Rice, and he was fouled.
That's a good foul right there, too, by Robert Horry. You do not want to give Dale Davis that dunk.
Got them both. His 17th point. His team's 100th.
It's now time for the Lakers. Get that ball back to Kobe Bryant. Let him create something. Get the ball inside to Shaq.
Harper looking for O'Neal. Touch pass back to Harper. He takes it to the hole but can't finish. Crozier comes up with it. Here are the Pacers down by only 3. Jalen Rose to tie it. There it is.
When you can shoot the 3, you're never out of a game. And Dale Davis just made a great play on Harper.
They beat Seattle in 6 in 96, but that was a relatively easy home win to close it out. And the first title was here in L.A. in Game 5 in 91. Here's Robert Horry up in the air. Tough shot, and he puts it down. 8 seconds to shoot. Harper to Shaq, guarded by Davis, turnaround jumper. How about that? He's got 40.
Shaquille O'Neal, what a tremendous season he's had. Wanting to end it tonight, of an NBA championship, his first.
Jalen Rose. Rebound to Horry. Davis got a piece of it but couldn't control it.
The Pacers have gone small with their lineup. Smith is out, Davis is in. The Lakers have a power advantage inside. Will they go back to it?
Kobe Bryant throws it over Jalen Rose. The Pacers had tied it with 7 unanswered points, but 6 straight for the Lakers after the timeout, and it's 109-103. Be alert for Hack-a-Shaq when the Lakers get the ball. Miller guarded by Harper. Jalen Rose. Right hand. It won't drop. Loose ball to Rice.
See, Shaquille O'Neal doesn't have to guard anybody right now. They're going to the Hack-a-Shaq. They've got 1 minute and 2 to do this before the penalty comes in at 2, where it's like a technical foul and you maintain possession of the ball.
If he continues to make 1 of 2, that'll be good enough for the Lakers.
And a 7-point lead is big because that makes it 3 possessions when you're playing against a great 3-point shooting team.
Miller. The fake. The 3. He got it.
And that's why it's so important. I think they're going to give him a 2.
Yep, it's a 2. His foot was on the line. A 2-point basket. And now they wrap Shaq up again, and it's Crozier once again who does it.
Under the 2-minute mark, if they do this with Shaq, it's 1 free throw for any Laker who's on the floor, so they can have their best free throw shooter take it, and they get the ball out of bounds. So they've got 41 more seconds. That's why it's important the Lakers make the Pacers use some clock rather than come down and score quickly.
He obliges them by missing 2. Now can the Pacers score? Looking for Reggie. Weaving his way through a maze of screens. His 3. No good. Crozier, however, appeared to have been shoved away from the ball. And it's Robert Horry who commits his 4th. Crozier, the kid from Santa Monica, misses the first.
Now, Phil Jackson is taking O'Neal out of the game, probably for 1 possession. So if they can come down and use clock, then he can bring them back in the game, and the Hack-a-Shaq then is over. This is a good substitution by Phil.
Crozier needs this to bring the Pacers to within 4.
And you know who's going to have the ball. They're going to get it to Kobe and try to get him to attack off the dribble and get to that free throw line. This is the time he loves, when Shaq is out of the game, that he can do his thing.
He fires a 3. And Jackson grabs the rebound. Here comes Jalen Rose all the way to the hoop. Blocked by Bryant, but recovered by Davis. Austin Crozier now. Hands to Davis, and Davis is fouled. Not a particularly good free throw shooter. With 2 crucial shots coming, his team down by 4, 1:56 left, and now Hack-a-Shaq is not part of the equation, but only when he touches the ball. If they foul him intentionally and he doesn't have the ball, that's when the technical comes into play.
But if he rebounds the ball, he'll have to shoot 2 free throws. That's why this is a big play right here by him putting Shaq in the game.
He does miss it. It goes out of bounds with the Lakers touching it last. That's what he was trying to do, but Jackson on the dribble gives it to Crozier. 2 seconds to shoot. Crozier is fouled on the drive.
That's a smart play, though. You don't need a 3. Drive that ball in there, throw your body in there, and get to the free throw line. Normally, Kobe is the guy, but they put the ball in his hands. Let's see what happens. But you know that if Shaq catches it, they're going to foul him.
Crozier brings the Pacers to within 1. A minute and a half remaining in Game 6. Glenn Rice, Shaq screening. Rice into the paint, blocked by Dale Davis. And a whistle from Joey Crawford.
It's going to be a loose ball foul here. Glenn Rice is going to shoot a couple free throws.
if the Lakers escape with the win and the title. That call will be replayed, especially in Indiana, for a long time.
Again, Indiana does not need a three. Way too much time. You're the best free throw shooting team. Get to the free throw line.
Miller. Fox right up on him. Crozier. Harper's got him on a mismatch. Crozier, turnaround, big shot, way short. Shaq grabs it and immediately, like a hot potato, gets rid of it so they can't foul him. Kobe Bryant, turning, shooting, short. Jackson picks it up. Pacers very much alive. Miller for three in the tie. It's long. Into the arms of Rice. 30 seconds.
They don't need to foul. They still got time on the clock. An 8-second differential, Bob.
Straight up D for Indiana. Kobe off balance. And the whistle blows. He had the ball knocked away, but the foul is on Indiana. 4 points. Indiana. Mark Jackson. He drives, throws it up. Dale Davis recovers and dunks it with 5.4 seconds.
If you can't get it into a great free throw shooter, call timeout.
The Lakers have 3 of them. Indiana just 1, and they do call time. The timeout advanced the ball to midcourt. Into Bryant. He's expecting them to foul him. They take a while to do it. They let 3 seconds go off the clock.
As soon as he caught the ball, he should have been fouled. And if he makes 1 free throw, the game is over basically, because what happens, Bob, even if you shoot a 3, you catch it while the ball is in the air, the clock will go off. They're 1 free throw away right now from being the champions.
If he misses them both, the Pacers have a timeout left. That's not going to happen.
Remember yesterday we spoke to Kobe Bryant, and I asked him, I said, Kobe, you're a dreamer. And he said, yes, and I'm going to dream that I'm going to be holding that trophy tomorrow night. And it looks like he's going to get his wish.
In 2.5 seconds, it appears he will. The Pacers, struggling to the last, use their last timeout. The officials are conferring about exactly what, we're not sure. People rimming the court, fans and media both. Jackson looking to throw it in against Shaq. Reggie turns and pumps it up off the rim, and the Lakers are the 2000 NBA champions. The 2 old rivals, Magic and Larry. Reggie Miller, who played his heart out. Took him 13 NBA seasons to get to the finals. And his last game this year in his hometown of Los Angeles ends in defeat. Shaquille O'Neal, within one vote of being a unanimous regular season MVP, will be obviously the MVP of the finals. He scored 41 points tonight. He averaged 38 points a game in the series.
Bob, I said to Shaq the other day, I said, Shaq, you could be the MVP of the finals, the MVP of the regular season, the MVP of the All-Star game, leading scorer, all these things. What does that make you? And he said, that makes me the big legendary. And he's had a legendary season. He has been absolutely amazing.
Ahmad is with Kobe.
For your 21 years, you said you've always dreamed of winning a championship. Is it what you dreamed of?
Oh, it's everything and more. I mean, you have the Laker colors falling from the ceiling, the fans going crazy. I got the hat on and everything covering my throat. It feels great.
Now, if you had to think of one thing that really got you guys over the hump, that really pushed you to this point, what would it have been this season?
It's just determination. And PJ did an excellent job, him and his coaching staff. And, you know, Shaq was marvelous all season long, and our bench was great. And we just pulled it all together.
In a game like tonight, where you had to go away from the triangle in the second half to break down the defense, that's what you had to do.
Yeah, we just had to break them down. That's all. I was just creating, similar to the Game 4 situation, where I was just penetrating, creating, getting to the gaps. Robert Ory made some big shots. Fox hit a big three, and we won the game.
No feeling quite like this, is it?
Woo, I love it. Can't wait to do it again.
All right, congratulations, Kobe. Let's go back to Bob.
Ahmad, thank you. Magic Johnson celebrating with Kobe Bryant.
Lakers owner Dr. Jerry Buss, head coach Phil Jackson, co-captains Ron Harper, Shaquille O'Neal, and the rest of the Lakers, Commissioner of the NBA David Stern, and to make the Larry O'Brien.
Thank you, Pacers and Lakers, for treating America and the world to 6 heart-stopping games, the best of NBA basketball. To your Los Angeles Lakers for their 7th championship. Dr. Buss, congratulations to the NBA 2000 champion, Los Angeles Lakers, their fans, and this city.
Dr. Buss, it has been a long time coming, but what a way to christen the Staples Center with another championship banner.
Well, I'm really very proud of the fans. Everybody told us that the best fans are in other cities. That's crazy. The best fans are in LA.
You have been around a lot of championships. Can you compare this to any of the other ones?
Only in that this is first of many, just like it was before.
Coach Jackson, we've done this many times.
Yes, Ahmad. It's always sweet.
2 as a player, 6 as a coach. How sweet is this one?
This is for LA, the Staples Center. What a way to start a millennium.
I know that you had said many times that you were just trying to set a foundation here with this team, but what a way to set a foundation with a championship season.
More than we could ever expect. This is a wonderful blessing for us. Thanks.
All right, congratulations to you. And now, once again, it's time.
I'm sorry?
For the presentation of the NBA Finals trophy. Here, once again, is the commissioner.
For the 3rd time in NBA history, the same person has won the MVP of the regular season, the MVP of the All-Star game, and the MVP of the finals. This time, Shaquille O'Neal did it by averaging 38 points and 16 rebounds for the finals. To the unanimous MVP of the 2000 finals, Shaquille O'Neal.
everything this past season. But I think it all pales in comparison of winning this championship.
First of all, I want to thank Phil Jackson, the real coach of the year. And I want to thank you fans in the Staples Center. Forget what everybody say. This is the best arena right here. The Staples Center, the loudest arena right here. I just want to say thank y'all for believing in us. And we're going to get one next year too. And my teammates, I love y'all. I love my teammates.
All right, Shaq, you've called yourself the big luggage, the big Aristotle. How about the big champion?
Big champion. Thank you, LA. Appreciate you. Love you.
All right, congratulations on a great season. Enjoy it.
Next time, do it again.
All right, let's go back to you, Bob.
Magic Johnson with an approving hug for Glenn Rice, who had an up-and-down season but made some big shots tonight. Shaquille O'Neal scored 41 points. He and Kobe Bryant are in fact the combo, a championship combo in the year 2000. More of the celebration when we come back to Los Angeles after this.